won't you stay with me tonight? We will dance until midnight comes and we could run away. Oh, we will never ever be apart. Set aside all your fears, this magic lives inside your heart. I am here, would you wanna stay with me tonight? Follow me, we will run across the bridge of fantasy. Oh, all the pain inside is let you feel. Believe in me, hold me close, don't ever let me go. Come and stay with me forever. Magic lives so long as I am here.
Happy time zones, everybody, and welcome to another stream. Today we are going to be finishing off the first playthrough of Cinderella Phenomenon. Hopefully we will be recapturing the king, kissing our beloved, and doing many other wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things. And I'm very, very excited to be bringing all of the excitement to you. I am looking forward to absolutely squealing at the cuteness in all of the forms it may take today. And yeah, let us just go check in with our settings and everything, because I believe that we're all good. I just want to double check that the music's not too loud. Alright, we got things going. Awesome. Let us continue where we last left off. At the very beginning of chapter 9. Today I'll hit another hit on you, Karma. If you can do that, darling, I welcome the challenge. Princess, your side is open. I bring my sword up closer to my side as Garland strikes me. Tonight is the first night that I get to use a real sword as opposed to a practice sword. The sound of metal clashing echoes into the night. Is this what a real battle feels like? We've been practicing under skirmish conditions for the last few days. Since tomorrow is the day we enact our plan, we're doing some last-minute practicing. Remember, fighting back-to-back is better than doing it alone. Claude dodges Durian's sword as he speaks, but I notice that he seems to be taking special care not to look in my direction. Gee, wonder why. It's not like we've done anything to upset the poor man anyway. It's not like we're going into battle directly against his wishes, because he wants to try and keep us safe, but no, we want to launch head into battle with a shiny sword. He's been fine for the last few days, but I'm not sure when his pain will return. If only he would tell me what's wrong with him. When Claude finally calls for the end of practice, we are all exhausted. Good job, everyone. You'll all be fine tomorrow. Garland turns to face me, a soft expression on his face. And if it comes down to it, Durian and I will protect you. Garland looks over his shoulder at Claude. Both of you. That's our jobs as knights. I'm quite capable of protecting myself, but I do appreciate the offer. It's late. We should all get some rest. The two knights excuse themselves, leaving me with Claude. Luciette, you should go to bed. Princess? I have a feeling I won't sleep much tonight anyway. Be that as it may, you should still try. I'm about to retire for the night as well. Keep practicing or I want to talk to you. I want to keep practicing. Princess, if you exert yourself, your reflexes will be slow tomorrow. I'm nowhere near as good as Durian or Garland. I'm sure you won't reconsider going, Princess. No, so please stop insisting that I reconsider. I will go and save my father. Claude sighs out, then leans forward to set a hand on my head. Luciette, promise that you will stay behind me if we're attacked. And if at any point it looks like we may not make it, you are to run as fast as you can back to the march-in. But that is cowardly. Luciette, do you remember what I said to you before? Sometimes running is the right thing to do. Never run into an impossible situation. Instead, live to fight another day. Promise me that you'll stay behind me. Please, Luciette. Please just give me this peace of mind. Do I be honest with the man? Do I give him the peace of mind? Albeit give him the peace of mind. We'll make him feel better before going into this mission. I cannot really deny his request. Claude's expression softens as he moves away from me. I'll stay behind you. Yes! Okay, we made a good choice. Okay, I'm good. I'm happy about that. Thank you, Princess. Let's attempt to sleep in preparation for tomorrow, shall we? When this is all over, we'll pry Claude's secrets out of him. Remaining on Claude's route. Tonight is the night. Everyone is just about ready to go. I can't get this feeling of foreboding off my chest. Everyone is gathered close to the door, ready to see us off. Everyone except Princess! Rumpel suddenly appears, Anise coming up to stand right next to him. What are you two doing here? Well, of course, we came to wish you good luck, just like everyone else here. We'll be waiting for you tonight so we can celebrate everyone's return. Be careful. Emma Jane, who has been everywhere with her brother since they came here, is standing right beside him now with a smile. I will pray for your safe return. Her smile wavers, and I can tell that she is uncertain. She has the greatest knights of Caldera, 2 witches, and a prince. She'll be fine. Rod's responses are curt as usual, but I cannot help but notice the hesitance in his voice. Even though he stares at me without expression, I think I can see a tinge of worry in his eyes. Rest assured, we will keep the princess safe. We're not going to let Alacaster get away with what he did to Angel and its royal family. Parfait steps forward last. She and Delora glance at each other. I feel as if some secret message bounces between the two of them. Delora nods ever so slightly, before Parfait turns to the rest of us. Her eyes eventually fall on me. You've changed since you've been here, Princess, but your dedication and resolve never wavers. It has always been there, just beneath the surface. Stubbornness or resolve? It is as if Parfait is able to read my thoughts. She smiles as she sets a hand on my shoulder. Your dedication is very much like King Gennaro's. You are proud and honorable, and always take steps in the right direction. That is why I know that you'll be back tonight. Just as Rumpel said, we'll all be waiting for you, all of you. Stay safe tonight. I nod my head as everyone gathered around begins to repeat their hearty goodbyes. It is Delora who walks away first, and we all follow behind. The night has just begun. Our way to the palace gates is uneventful, but we pause some distance away from them to take shelter in a nearby alley. There are knights everywhere. Waltz points to what looks like a regular section of the wall. There's a hidden door to the tunnels. If we time it right between the night's patrols, we should be able to make it. On my signal, Claude puts a hand on my shoulder and squeezes. It is an abrupt gesture and doesn't last long, but the motion calms my nerves somewhat. We'll be fine. Our footsteps echo in the tunnel. Standing in front of me are Jurian and Garland, who are flanking Waltz. Delora stands beside me, and Claude at my back. This small tunnel makes it seem like we brought a lot of people. This way. We silently follow Waltz's instructions. How is it that Waltz knows about these tunnels? I've already taken into account the guards and where they might be positioned based on Prince Rod's information. We should be alright. Garland and I will act as distractions if needed. Princess, leave most of the fighting to us, if there's any to be done. I know, I will only fight if I need to. If only I wasn't cursed, I'd be able to fight to my fullest extent. I think you're quite capable without all your magic, puppeteer. Oh, a compliment. Well, that's an honor. Miss Karma. I'm only in this dress because of Jurian, you know. Jurian crosses her arms and cocks an eyebrow at Claude. I wouldn't fall in love with you no matter what you say. That's what they all say. Here. Suddenly, everyone goes quiet. I feel a lot heavier. I stare at the staircase in front of me. This should lead to the throne room. I didn't know we had a secret passage in the throne room. How much does Waltz know about the palace? Immediately after we step into the throne room, we split apart to avoid the three guards' gazes. I stick close to Claude and Waltz as Delora conjures a blanket of shimmering fog that envelops the guards. I watch as the guards' eyes close, before they slump to the ground. Delora drops her hands all at once. The guards are truly asleep. Amazing how intolerant humans are to magic, really. Let's keep going. Getting through the palace is no easy feat. The hallways that were easy to get through before are now difficult to traverse with all the soldiers that are standing around. Delora casts a spell to silence our footsteps into quiet muffles, but moving is still difficult, especially with such a group. Eventually, we arrive just outside the tunnels that should lead to the castle's prison. I'll stand watch. Be careful, Waltz. I will. We enter another tunnel, a network of tunnels. Jurian, Garland, after you. Jurian glances at me briefly, then at Claude, who nods a little stiffly. We'll be right back. In accordance with the plan, Claude and I are left at the halfway point of the tunnel to ensure a clean escape as Delora, Jurian, and Garland continue to the prison. We should be fine. I'm still worried. My eyes wander to Claude and I bite down on my lower lip when I notice that his hand is once again raised to his chest. I find myself reaching out to grab Claude's hand. He swiftly pulls it away. The glare on his face takes me by surprise. Why is he so angry? Claude puts a hand to his chest and flinches as he leans on a wall. Oh no! His voice sounds so pained. What is he talking about? Claude? I just need some space, Princess. But I'm fine. I cannot help but feel irritated at the way that Claude had just snapped at me. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be this way. It's just... He trails off, his eyes distant. Because of your curse, right? Most of the time he's sociable and a pleasure to talk to, but then he reverts to this state. It's like he's two different people, and I cannot understand why he's like this. Why do I care so much? Someone who keeps secrets. Yet, I wish I could explain, but if I did, you would hate me. He's worried I would hate him? Claude. No. I could never hate you. More accurately, you would be afraid of me. But would I, Claude? Would I? Why would I be afraid of you? Or I could never be afraid of you. Why would I be afraid of you? You've never done anything frightening before. You aren't a frightening person. The only time you ever frighten me is when you're like this. When you look like you're in pain and when you're keeping secrets from me. The secret's my own selfish desire. They're for your safety too. You're talking in circles. Why won't you just tell me what's going on? Claude's voice trails off at the sound of running. His hand moves quickly to the hilt of his sword as I reach for mine. We only relax when we see it's Durian, Garland, and Delora heading towards us. But why are they alone? Where are the king and queen? They weren't in the prison. I have no idea where else they could be. Delora steps out from between the two of them, her expression somber. This doesn't bode well for us at all. We can't keep sneaking without a direction. That's a sure way to get caught. The words have just left her mouth when the alarm begins to sound. Don't tell me. That's the alarm! Everyone draws their weapons as Waltz appears, running towards us with a harried expression on his face. The knights are on their way. How did they know that we were here? In seconds, I hear the clanking of metal, and then there are knights that are upon us. We are forced to scatter to deal with our different opponents. A guard rushes at me with his sword, and I somehow manage to block his attack. I should be able to wind around him. The knight falls after I catch him from behind and give Claude an opening for him to attack. Luciette! Stay behind me! I promised I would, remember? Let's keep it that way then. A smile flashes across his face, and for a few moments he seems more like the Claude that I know. A knight manages to separate Claude and I, leaving me by myself. Grabs my arm. Unhand me! I watch in shock as a shimmering fog surrounds my attacker, his eyes closing as he slumps to the ground. He's only the first to fall. Seconds later, most of the knights in my immediate vicinity have fallen to the ground. I can tell by the subtle rise and fall of their chests. They are asleep. Sorry I couldn't focus long enough to cast that spell earlier. Delora drops her hands and turns to address Waltz, Claude, and I. Head towards the entrance hall. The king must be in one of the central rooms. Durian and Garland and I will head to the bedchambers in the east wing to look for the queen. Splitting up's not part of the plan. We don't have much of a choice anymore. If we're going to get the king and queen out of here, we'll need to improvise. Now go! Claude grabs my hand and jerks his head at Waltz. Let's go. The three of us rush out. into one of the palace hallways. I keep my gaze forward while Waltz and Claude watch for enemies on either side of us. On our right! Claude grabs his sword and moves before Waltz and I can respond. He dives low towards a soldier, his sword poised straight for a devastating blow. Knights begin to approach us from the left, and I raise my sword, readying myself. Waltz snaps his fingers, a flash of light blinding the men in the immediate vicinity, and I use the opportunity to rush the knights in front of me. I grit my teeth as I attack. Most of my blows are lucky. There are too many knights for me to be able to get the upper hand, though. There are so many of them! Well, if it isn't the most desirable princess. I whip around to attack the man that spoke. He is nowhere to be found. Is he? Who are you? I wonder. Luciette! I turn to see Claude running towards me, a panicked expression in his eyes. I take a step towards him when a masked man suddenly blocks my path. Who are you? I raise my sword, but the masked man taps his cane on the floor before I can swing. An incredible pressure blasts from the cane. It shoves Claude back to the floor and blows me backwards. I hit the wall so hard, and my vision darkens. Claude. Where am I? Why can't I see anything? My head hurts. Rise and shine, sleeping beauty. I jerk upright at the familiar voice. You're the man who knocked me out! The man laughs as I blink, trying to pinpoint the direction of his voice. Did he blindfold me? I command you to take off this blindfold immediately. Don't take orders from a princess that no one remembers. But I am a gentleman, so I suppose I'll have to heed the lady's request. The blindfold is abruptly pulled off, and I flinch at the sudden brightness. Why, hello there, princess. My captor looks at me amused. He wears a crooked grin on his masked face and a cape on his shoulder. Who is he? My eyes wander to the throne. Can I help but gasp at what I see? The king is strapped to the throne, hands bound, mouth covered. Your Majesty! The king pauses to look at me, his eyes containing a mixture of alarm and confusion. I turn to glare at the masked man. Let him go! No can do, princess. No. Don't you think he still looks regal sitting on his throne like that? I grit my teeth as I begin to struggle against my bonds. Struggle all you like, you won't get out of those knots anytime soon. Who are you? The masked man drops into an elegant bow. I am called Varg. Varg? What have you done to my father? Oh, me? Nothing. Well, nothing much. I guess gagging a person and tying their hands behind their backs would count as something. Are you working for Sir Alacaster? I don't work for anyone. So he's a mercenary? The door flies open and Alacaster steps in, his face full of anger. Mithras the fool! How absolutely useless he was! Varg gives a dismissive shrug. He regards me again with his mischievous smile. Well, I do agree with that wholeheartedly. The man is in the past. Here in the present, we have something far more interesting to deal with here. Varg gestures at me. I glare at Varg before turning my gaze to Alacaster. I used to think Alacaster was someone to be respected. Not anymore, though. If it isn't the princess herself. You remember who I am? Once Mithras made the connection, it was far too obvious to be false. So Mithras remember me? Alcester shifted his attention to the king. Gennaro, do you not remember this girl as your own blood daughter? My eyes meet the king's, but I see no recognition in his gaze. Not remember me. I haven't managed to break my curse yet. Why are you doing this to my father? To the kingdom? Everything I do for the kingdom. All successful rulers have to run with an iron fist. Fear is the best motivator. A king that is too lenient and does not inspire fear has no business on the throne. But the people of Angel love their king. Before I had thought that the townspeople were despicable because they hated me. Now I understand those reasons. They may have judged me as my mother's daughter, which is wrong, but does not mean that they should be subjected to a regime of fear. Your obligation as a ruler is to rule for the country, not for the people. Back when the queen was still alive and the palace knew the fear of the witches, they were far more productive. Fear motivates. Fear makes a man. King Alcester, you better have a good excuse for interrupting me. Your Highness, there's a beast. What are you blathering about, fool? A beast, a magical beast, is rampaging the palace. Is this a dead witch's doing? Dead? Shh. No. Dolores fine, she has to be. Out with it. Did Mithras do it? What? I cannot stop myself from blurting the question. So Mithras is a witch? He was a witch. Now he's dead. He turns to his knight and demands more information. I'm too shocked to hear their words. Sir Mithras. Witch. Impossible. What of the other palace intruders? We've managed to apprehend some of them, sir. We can't get everyone, but that beast's taking us out. Damned Mithras. Still a pain, even after death. What did you do to Sir Mithras? Did you not hear me, girl? He is dead, killed by my own hand. But why? It was helpful at first. We worked together to achieve our own personal goals. He eyed me cautiously. We got him monologuing. Let's keep going. He wanted you, princess. If Sir Mithras was a witch, that would explain why he still remembered me. Why did he want me? Who knows? Doesn't matter anymore. I gave him my knights to assist him in his search when the witches could not, but in the end that fool was far too power-hungry. You never entered into my plans. You would have been safe, princess, had you just stayed put. But now that you're here, you'll come in mighty handy. Alcester turns back to the knight, who immediately bursts into explanation once more. The beast is moving quickly. We don't know how much longer we can keep it from this room. There's a beast in the palace, and it's Sir Mithras doing? I'm so confused. What about the others? They're okay? Let me go, Alcester! You're not going anywhere. Sound like some of your friends are very persistent. They'll be coming for you, and when they get here, I will kill them. You, princess, are going to make excellent bait. You know, I like this turn of events. That's kind of amusing. You, tell me what's all of this. Varg looks unmoved by Alcester's anger. It is Mithras has summoned the beast, is it not? Then you must know what is happening. You're asking me, of all people? Ah! As if I'd be able to answer any of your questions. You! Varg! Doesn't matter how many times you say my name, Alcester, I won't have any answers for you. Sir Alcester turns to me, his eyes manic. Whether this is Mithras' magic or magic belonging to one of your own friends, I'm not going to let it live. Could Delora create a beast out of thin air? Is it somebody else that we know? Sir Alacaster draws his sword from his sheath and curses under his breath. I squirm, desperate to find some kind of break in my restraints. Varg surprises me, however, by reaching down and cutting the ropes, binding my arms with the sword I recognize. You have my sword! I stand up quickly as I can and grab the sword from him. That was a little too easy. I eye Varg warily as his mouth twists into a smirk. What are you doing and why are you helping me? Help? All I did was cut some ropes. Besides, I'm curious to see what you'll do with that toothpick of a sword. He talks to me like he doesn't care at all about what happens. Don't think about it too much, Princess. It's probably a little too much for your very small head. I swing my sword towards him and Varg catches it with his cane. You really think that I'm the one that you should be fighting? The door creaks and falls off its hinges. The knights stumble back. I hear screaming as loud footsteps sound against the hall's tiles. So what will you do? Run? Hide? Or will the beast kill you too? My eyes focus on a large figure entering the room, though I cannot make out the specifics at first. The form grows more distinct the further that it moves into the room. Whatever this is, I cannot fight it. There is a moment of eerie silence. Then Alacaster yells, and the knights rush forward, attacking the beast as a collective. The beast throws them off with surprising nimbleness, its rage in every swipe. I dodge away just before a man's body falls on top of me. Over here, beast! Sir Alacaster rushes at the beast. I finally manage to get a clear sight of the king, who is still bound and helpless on the throne. King, I have to get him out of here. I run towards the throne, but someone stops me dead in my tracks. Saving the king really shouldn't be your priority right now. I grit my teeth and swing my sword at Varg, but he easily darts away from me. I would be watching my back if I were you. It is then that I notice the beast slowly making its way towards me. Why would it be after me? Either I stay here and fend it off, or... Alacaster catches the beast with a broad swipe of his sword, and the two are focused on each other once more. I glance urgently at the king and then at the doors. The beast moves again, and I realize it's once more heading towards me. There's no way that I can help the king in all of this mess. I'm gonna hit save just in case, because I feel like this is gonna be coming up to a choice. I need help. I have to find the others. Hopefully Alacaster will keep this beast busy long enough for me to get to them. I turn and bolt through the doors into the room, reaving my way through the chaos of the knights as I head towards the door. I glance over my shoulder one last time at the king. His eyes are trained on the battle before him. His hands grip the arm of his throne, but there is nothing that he can do. So sorry. I'll be back. For now, I have to find the others. I dart past the carnage in the room, stepping over and around the bodies as they appear. Halfway to the door, the beast lunges past Sir Alacaster, and for a few moments, I think he might be attacking me. Stay back! I hold my sword out in front of me and stand in defensive position just as Claude taught me, but the beast never reaches me. You've ruined everything, beast! Alacaster is suddenly in front of me, waving his sword at the beast. I stumble back towards the door, my heart beating loudly in my chest. I have to get out of here. Chapter 10. The Beauty and the Sinner. Where did the beast come from? The knights immediately rush towards me. I back away as far as I can without re-entering the throne room. Princess, come quietly. We'll keep you somewhere safe until all this dies down. I raise my sword and stand at the ready when the knights surround me. I order you to stay out of my way. Apologies, Princess, but we're under orders from the king. Alacaster is not the true king. What did he offer you for your loyalty? Wealth? Status? That is none of your concern. One of the knights moved towards me and I react on instinct, swiping at him. Might want to put that down before you hurt yourself, Princess. Do not antagonize me. One knight rushes me and my blade connects with his shoulder. Another approaches me from behind and I hit him with the back of my sword. The third moves too fast for me and I can feel his blade cut into my shoulder. I hiss in the pain that sings from the wound. Bleeding. The next time he swings, I successfully manage to evade him, but then bump into another knight. I'm surrounded. Just come with us, Princess. We won't hurt you. No. I feel one of the knight's arms on my hand on my shoulder. I attempt to pull away from him, but stop when I hear him scream. The beast stands behind me, eyes narrowed, its mouth gaping wide. Scream escapes my throat. The knights change their focus to attack the beast, but it easily swipes them away as it advances towards me. It's getting closer. I desperately back up. However, my back soon hits a wall and there's nowhere else to go. I stand in a defensive position that Claude taught me. I hold out the sword and use it to throw back the beast's shadowed claws as he reaches out for me. That stands. It talks. Stay away from me. The beast moves towards me again. I stumble in place, struggling to hold my ground. A knight throws his sword, the blade impaling itself into the beast's shoulder. It gives me an opening. The beast's wounded arm swings into my reach. I lash out with my sword, managing to draw blood. Princess. Delora would never create a beast like this. This had to be Mithras's doing. An attacking knight catches the beast's attention, and I do not wait. As the beast turns, I raise my sword, manage to slide it deeper into the beast's chest. A piercing cry erupts from somewhere deep in its throat. I stumble back without my sword, which is still stabbed through the creature's heart. The beast collapses to the ground. I stare as it raises a hand to its chest. That motion reminds me so much of... Right. It was all... a motion. Glimmer of light catches my eye. I freeze as I stare down at the ground. The necklace. Right there, where the blood is already pooling around the sword in the beast's chest, is a rose-shaped locket. The locket I gave to Claude, why do you... The beast stares up at me with glassy eyes. Its mouth barely moving. After a few moments, a low rumbling comes from the beast's throat. I realize it is a grisly, pained chuckle. Afraid of me. I told you. The beast stares at me unblinking. Its eyes are already beginning to haze over. It speaks. The locket it has. I look at the locket, at the blood seeping beneath the surface, and suddenly realize... If I ever told you the reason, you would hate me, Luciette. More accurately, you would be afraid of me. No. No, 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 no! I kneel beside the beast. I was wrong. No, 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 no! Claude! I clutch the locket to my chest as I kneel over the beast. Claude, no! Please! I lean down to listen to his breathing. It's nothing but silence. lights. Everything around me goes dark. I killed him. There is the sound of footsteps behind me. They are mute, unimportant. Lord, I'm so sorry. The end. The bad ending. Clara, we just killed Claude. We killed him. Ah! No! Vol says, I look away for one moment, Andy. Yeah, I go kill a man. This is not what you... See what I mean about the death ending? Ah! If there is a death ending in any Ultimate game, I find the death ending first. No! Yep, that was the last chapter. Clara says, the one we least suspected. Yep, Ball says, I really looked at different tabs, talked to my morals. I came back to see you dead. Wow, cringe. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Ball. Ah! Ah! Love you too, Ball. Well, fuck. I killed the man I loved because I didn't recognize him. God damn it. No. Clara says we love our accidental killer streamer. I don't mean to do this. This is just... This is how bad I am at dating things. That I managed to fall in love with someone and then I die. And then I die, chat. That's what happened. We did die. You know what? I'ma just go back to chapter 9. Let's see. Paul says me on purpose. Handshake, murdering people. Andy, handshake on accident. Yes. Look, I'm not trying to murder people, but somehow I do. I don't know how I do this. I thought I made the right choice. It gave me the red little plum bob. I thought that I was doing the good thing, but no. No, it didn't. I think there was one where you didn't hug him and there wasn't the icon afterwards. Yes, there was one of those, and then there was another one. So I'm supposed to stay behind him. I know that much. I'm just trying to figure out where exactly I went wrong. Because there's thank you and I'm sorry. I saved enough. I want to fix this. I don't like this ending. I don't like this ending. So chapter 8 is where the hug is. Do you reckon that if we do the hug, that'll do it? Ball says lolza. You and your lolzas. Clara says accidentally slips poison into a cup. Okay, you know what? We're gonna try that. You've unlocked the fast forward feature. For the convenience of future playthroughs, this feature has been activated. With this, you're able to skip ahead to the choices you'll have to make again, as well as to unseen dialogue. Just right here on the rightmost corner of the quick menu. Okay, so we can just skip through the choices now. So last time we did I want you to smile, so we can go to the next point. Let's try save him. Let's save him. Clara says also that tea was really lovely. I love. I'm glad that you enjoyed the cup of tea, Clara. For those that aren't aware, I gave Clara a blackberry mojito tea. And it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, I gave Clara a cup of tea while she was over here. Vol says, I am tempted to destroy my AI psych. So you finally went back to the AI psych again, Vol? How is that going? Vol says, but you didn't give me the blackberry tea, Sag. I mean, if you really want tea, you know I have a tea cupboard. You can come over, like, later tomorrow or something for tea. I'm talking with the ship AI. Oh, the ship AI. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see how this goes. Down to come over tomorrow. I will be streaming with Ace tomorrow, so you can come around in like the morning if you want, because like yeah, otherwise I'm not gonna be finished with everything until like 7. So you can come around like 8 o'clock ish, because I won't be back from the osteopath until then. So if you don't mind like an 8 o'clock cup of tea or something, then like 8 o'clock in the PM, I mean, because I have to get through all that stuff. But yeah, let us try hug Claude. Let's see how this goes, guys. Huh? Claude looks at me in surprise. He thinks I'm being foolish for making such a request, doesn't he? Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. Before I can say anything else, Claude takes a step forward and wraps me in his arms. He pulls me towards him. In those moments of silence, all I can hear is his heartbeat resounding in his chest. I can feel his warmth all around me, his fingers clasped gently at my back. I feel so strange. My heart is racing and my knees feel weak. Okay, so this was the good option that we needed to do. Okay. Let's see. Clara Vol says, I gotta be out of the house 8:30, so I can come after that whenever you're good. Vol says, Andy, I love Tumblr so much. What Tumblr? What Tumblr did you do? But yeah, Clara, that was a good call. Good job. Something like this. He speaks right into my ear. It's a surprisingly pleasant feeling. Suddenly, Claude makes a noise of distress as he steps away from me. All of the warmness that was pressed against me 1 moment ago is gone. Alright, so this is the normal dialogue. Let's fast forward. Fast forward to where we have the next choice. Are you sure you want to skip to the next choice? Maybe? Should we try skip to the next choice? Because, like, I feel like... Oh. Okay, so this is going through. Stop. Skip to the next choice. Okay, so now we've got a new save. So let's do this, where we've got that previous choice now in chapter 8 that we did. We did the good choice. Now, was it I'm sorry or thank you? Was it I'm sorry or thank you? Thank you. Never need to thank me, Luciette. You've done so much for me. It's not just the sword fighting, it's patience, your company, saving me when I needed help. It's not true. Pretty sure I'm the most selfish person in this tavern. All I ever want is things for myself. Never thought that you were selfish, Claude. There we go. Okay, so we've got new dialogue. Awesome. Good. Good, 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 good. He puts a hand to my cheek and looks at me solemnly. You don't think that me wanting you is... And suddenly he steps back, hand on his chest again, his breathing heavy. I stare at Claude with wide eyes. Okay, so that's correct choice number 2. We gotta have made like a really, really bad choice at some point. So let us skip to the next choice. Let's see if we can save it. Okay, I want to talk to you or I want to keep practicing. Keeping practicing didn't give me the thing from memory, so I'm gonna try I want to talk to you. No, I think it did give me the I don't remember, to be honest. About what? Claude takes a step back and I stare at his hand absently as he moves to his chest. Are you really okay, Claude? I've been perfectly fine this last week. He's lying. He's obviously in pain. Why do you have to keep your pain a secret? Why won't you talk to me? Okay, so both of them are good choices for different endings. Okay, good to know. I've told you before that some things are best kept a secret, Princess. Claude sighs, then leans forward to set a hand on my head. Luciette, promise that you'll stay behind me if we're attacked. If at any point it looks like we may not make it, you ought to run as fast as you can back to the margin. That is cowardly. Luciette, don't you remember what I said before? Sometimes running is the right thing to do. Never run into an impossible situation. Instead, live to fight another day. Promise me you'll stay behind me. Please, Luciette. Give me that peace of mind. Okay. So we've got it to chapter 9. I promise that I'll do it was right for one route. I cannot promise to do that. I have no idea what that'll do. Do we... I cannot promise that, or I promise. He did smile. He did smile at us and we were kept closer together. I'd say stick with the promise. Okay, we'll see if the promise works, because I did the promise last time. I want to see if this does it. If it'll make him feel better before going into this mission, I cannot deny his request. Lord's expression softens as he moves away from me. I'll stay behind you. Okay, it did work last time, so that's good. Thank you, Princess. Now we've got to see what happens here. Let's attempt to sleep in preparation for tomorrow. When this is over, I'll pry Claude's secrets out of him. Okay, so now we're at that stopping point. So I'm gonna save. Okay. Return. Oh, tonight is the night, everybody. Let us fast forward to the next choice. I could never be afraid of you, or why would I be afraid of you? Why would I be afraid of you is what I did last time, and I don't remember it coming up with the diamond. Oh yeah, how did Luciette kill Claude? So Claude turned into a beast. So like a literal beast, and was trying to protect us from Alacaster, and then came towards us to try and alert us and stay by our side. And we stabbed him with a knife. In the same stance he taught us how to do. No less. Like, we used the same... I'd say definitely go back and watch the VOD, Clara, because like, oh boy, was that intense. Oh no, that's ironic. Yeah, it was ironic. It was so bad. I'm gonna go with never could be afraid of you. What is there to be afraid of? Claude wears a pained expression. As he looks at me, I see him once again grabbing at the collar of his dress, looking like he's in some kind of quiet agony. That's what she said too. Is he talking about that one woman from before? The one who didn't love him? He thinks I'm the same? I'm not like her, Claude. Who's yet? Claude's voice trails off at the sound of running. Okay, so this I believe was the last choice before we got to the ending. So I'm gonna, I think, try read through from here. Let's see. Clara says, oh, indeed. All right, let us stop there. Okay, so we have been kidnapped by a masked stranger. I will reread this part because this is interesting. Yeah, I'm stopping this for you, Clara. This is why I'm stopping it. His hair is nice. Who's the masked man? So I'm stopping this and reading from here so you get the feeling and understand what's going on. Because this is important. And this is important to the other routes. I know that much, but I still have no feckin' clue who this gentleman is. The masked man drops into an elegant bow. I'm called Varg. Varg? What have you done to my father? Oh, me? Nothing. Oh, nothing much. Yes, the gagging a person and tying their hands behind their back. Counts as something, I suppose. Are you working for Sal Alacaster? I don't work for anyone. So he's a mercenary? The door flies open and Alacaster steps in, his face full of anger. Clara says, thank you, Andy. That's okay, Clara. I know that you're as invested in this story as I am. Mithras, the fool! How absolutely useless he was! Varg gives a dismissive shrug. He regards me again with his mischievous smile. While I do agree that wholeheartedly, the man is in the past. Here in the present, we have someone far more interesting to deal with. Varg gestures at me. I glare at Varg before turning my gaze to Alacaster. I used to think that Alacaster was someone to be respected. Not anymore. If it isn't the princess herself. You remember who I am? Once Mithras made the connection, it was far too obvious to be false. Could Sir Mithras remember me? Alacaster shifts his attention to the king. Gennaro, do you not remember this girl as your own blood daughter? My eyes meet the king's, but I see no recognition in his gaze. He cannot remember me. I haven't managed to break my curse yet. Why are you doing this to my father? To the kingdom? Everything I do for the kingdom. All successful rulers have run with an iron fist. Fear is the best motivation. A king that is too lenient, does not inspire fear, has no business being on the throne. But the people of Angel love their king. Before, I had thought that the townspeople were despicable because they hated me. Now I understand those reasons. They may have judged me as mother's daughter, which is wrong, but that does not mean that they should be subject to a regime of fear. Your obligation as a ruler is to rule for the country, not for the people. Back when the queen was still alive and this palace knew the fear of the witches, they were far more productive. Fear motivates. Fear makes a man. Sir Alacaster! You better have a good excuse for interrupting me. Your Highness, there's a beast! What are you blathering about, you fool? Villain 101 calls somebody a fool in a very, emphasized tone. Disney Villain 101. Consider that your tutorial. A beast! A magical beast is rampaging around the palace. Is this the dead witch's doing? Dead witch? No. Dolores fine. She has to be. Out with it. Did Mithras do this? What? I can't stop myself from blurting out the question. So Mithras is a witch? He was a witch. Now he's dead. Clara says, ew, this guy's very dictatory. Agreed. I agree. Very dictatory. Not a big fan. 0 points to Alacaster. Clara says, it would be funny if he called him a hooligan, an nincompoop, or a goober or something. I mean, I could try that if we want to reduce some tension, but this is a pretty dramatic scene. He turns to his knight and demands more information, but I'm too shocked to hear their words. Sir Mithras. Witch? Impossible. What of the other palace intruders? We've managed to apprehend some of them. We can't get everyone with that beast taking all of us out. Damned Mithras. Still a pain, even after death. What did you do to Sir Mithras? Did you not hear me, girl? He's dead. Killed by my hand. But why? He was helpful at first. We worked together to achieve our own personal goals. Guide me cautiously. He wanted you, princess. Sir Mithras was a witch. That would explain why he still remembered me. Why did he want me? Who knows? Doesn't matter anymore. I gave him my knights to assist with his search when the witches could not. In the end, that fool was too power hungry. You never entered into my plans. You would have been safe, princess, had you just stayed put. Now that you're here, you'll come in handy. Alacaster turns back to the knight, who immediately bursts into an explanation once more. The beast is moving quickly. We don't know how much longer we can keep it from this room. There's a beast in the palace and it's Sir Mithras' doing? I'm so confused. What about the others? Are they okay? Let me go, Alacaster. You are not going anywhere. Sounds like some of your friends are very persistent. They'll be coming for you. When they get here, I will kill them. You, princess, gonna make excellent bait. You know, I like this turn of events. It's kind of amusing. You, tell me what all of this is. Varg looks unmoved by Alacaster's anger. It is Mithras that summoned this beast, is it not? Then you must know what is happening. You're asking me, of all people? As if I'd be able to answer any of your questions. You! Ugh. It doesn't matter how many times you say my name, Alacaster. I won't have any answers for you. Sir Alacaster turns to me, his eyes manic. Whether this is Mithras' magic or magic belonging to one of your friends, I'm not gonna let it live. Would Delora create a beast out of thin air? Sir Alacaster draws his sword from his sheath and curses under his breath. I squirm, desperate to find some kind of break in my restraints. Varg surprises me, however, by reaching down and cutting the ropes, binding my arms with a sword that I recognize. You have my sword! I stand up as quickly as I can and grab the sword from him. That was a little too easy. I eye Varg warily as his mouth twists into a smirk. What are you doing? Why are you helping me? Help? All I did was cut some ropes. Besides, I'm curious to see what you'll do with that toothpick of a sword. Talks like he doesn't care at all about what happens. Don't think about it too much, Princess. Probably a little too much for your very small head. I swing my sword towards him and Varg catches it with his cane. You really think that I'm the one that you should be fighting right now? The door creaks and falls off the hinges. The knights stumble backwards, and I hear the screaming as loud footsteps sound against the tiles. So what will you do? Run? Hide? Or will the beast kill you too? My eyes focus on the large figure entering the room. Though I cannot make out the specifics at first, the form grows more distinct the further it moves into the room. Whatever this is, I cannot fight it. There is a moment of eerie silence. Then Alacaster yells and the knights rush forward, attacking the beast as a collective. The beast throws him off with a surprising nimbleness, his rage in every swipe. I dodge away just before a man's body falls on top of me. Over here, beast! Sir Alacaster rushes at the beast. I finally manage to get a clear line of sight to the king, who is still bound and helpless on the throne. I have to get him out of here. I run towards the throne, but someone stops me dead in my tracks. Saving the king really shouldn't be a priority right now. I grit my teeth and swing my sword at Varg. He easily darts away from me. I would be watching my back, Princess. It is then that I notice the beast slowly making its way towards me. Why would it be after me? Either I stay here and fend it off, or... Alacaster catches the beast with a broad swipe of his sword, and the two are focused once more on each other. I glance urgently at the king and then at the doors. The beast moves again, and I realize that it is once more headed towards me. There's no way I can help the king in all this mess. I need help. I have to find the others. Hopefully, Alacaster will keep this beast busy long enough for me to get to them. I turn and bolt through the room, weaving my way through the chaos of knights as I head towards the door. Let's save. I glance over my shoulder one last time at the king. His eyes are trained on the battle before him. His hands grip the arms of his throne. There is nothing he can do. I'm so sorry. I'll be back. But for now, I have to find the others. I dart past the carnage in the room, stepping over and around the bodies as they appear. Halfway to the door, the beast lunges past Sir Alacaster, and for a few moments, I think he may be attacking me. Stay back! I hold my sword out in front of me and stand in a defensive position like Claude taught me. The beast never reaches me. You've ruined everything, beast! Alacaster is suddenly in front of me, waving his sword at the beast. I stumble backwards, my heart beating loudly in my chest. I have to get out of here. Chapter 10. The Beauty and the Sinner. Final chapter. Where did the beast come from? The knights immediately rush towards me. I back away as far as I can without re-entering the throne room. Princess, come quietly. We'll keep you somewhere safe until all of this dies down. I raise my sword and stand at the ready when the knights surround me. I order for you to stay out of my way. Apologies, Princess, but we are under orders from the king. Alacaster is not the true king. What did he offer you for your loyalty? Wealth? Status? That is none of your concern. One of the knights moves towards me and I react on an instinct, swiping at him. You might want to put that down before you hurt yourself, princess. Do not antagonize me. One knight rushes me and their blade connects with his shoulder. Another approaches me from behind and I hit him with the back of my sword. The third moves too fast for me. I feel his blade cut into my shoulder. I hiss at the pain that stings from the wound. Bleeding. The next time he swings, I successfully manage to evade him, but then I bump into another knight. Surrounded. Just come with us, princess. We don't want to hurt you. No. I feel one of the knight's hands on my shoulder. I attempt to pull away from him, but I stop when I hear him scream. Beast stands behind me, eyes narrowed, its mouth gaping wide. A scream escapes my throat. The knights change their focus to attacking the beast, but it easily swipes them away as it advances towards me. It's getting closer. I desperately back up. However, my back soon hits a wall, and with nowhere else to go, I stand in the defensive position that Claude had taught me. I hold out the sword and use it to throw back the beast's shadow claws as he reaches out for me. That stance. It talks. Stay away from me. The beast moves towards me again. I stumble in place, struggling to hold my ground. A knight throws his sword, the blade impaling itself into the beast's shoulder, giving me an opening. The beast's wounded arm swings into my reach, and I lash out with my sword, managing to draw blood. Princess. Delora would never create a beast like this. This has to be Sir Mithras' doing. An attacking knight catches the beast's attention. I do not wait. As the beast turns, I raise my sword and manage to slide it deep into the beast's chest. As a piercing cry erupts from somewhere deep in its throat, I stumble backwards without my sword, still stabbed through the creature's heart. The beast collapses to the ground. I stare as it raises its hand to its chest. The motion reminds me so much of... Right. It was all an illusion. A glimmer of light catches my eye. I freeze as I stare down at the ground. The necklace. Right there, where the blood is already pooling around the sword in the beast's chest, is a rose-shaped locket. The locket that I gave to Claude! Why do you? The beast stares up at me with glassy eyes, its mouth barely moving. After a few moments, a low rumble comes from the beast's throat. I realize it's a grisly, pained chuckle. Afraid of me. I told you. The beast stares at me unblinking, but its eyes already haze over. Wait, it speaks! The locket it has! I look at the locket again, the blood seeping beneath the surface, and suddenly I realize... If I ever told you the reason, you would hate me, Luciette. More accurately, you'd be afraid of me. No! 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 I kneel down beside the beast. I was wrong. No! 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 Claude! Clutch the locket to my chest as I kneel over the beast. Claude! No! Please! I lean down to listen to his breathing. There is nothing left but silence. Everything around me goes dark. I killed him. There's a sound of footsteps behind me. They are mute, unimportant. Lord, I'm so sorry. The end. Still got the bad ending. That's not the choice we needed to make. So where is the good ending? There's a choice we must have missed somewhere that was important. Yeah, we corrected our course. We corrected as much as we could, I think. I can't remember where else. But the ones that we changed were all correct. I know. They were all maybe it was an early choice. Maybe I got something wrong really early that's determined like the course of the story. Do we want to try going Karma's route, but from the beginning? Because this is where we selected Karma's route, right? Like, Clara says you could start the route again and try and go through it all and reset and save when it's not red. That's not a bad plan. Let's try that. Let's skip to the next choice. It's terrible or not that terrible. Let me think. When I did this the first time, I think I chose it's terrible, and I think that was the good choice. I do want to get like the I think it's terrible that was red. Okay, what? Most people don't agree with me. It doesn't make sense for a witch to cast a good curse on you. I guess it doesn't, does it? Thank you, Princess Luciette. Why is he thanking me? No, this was the right one. Okay, so this was the right one. Let us... Where are we? First one. So, first choice for Karma. Let's save that. Okay, so that's good. Let's fast forward to the next choice. Yay! Yes, let's try and get this clear. I'm still gonna stand up for Rumple because I remember that was red. This also means that we get kind of a freeze frame for how Claude came to decide to like us, I guess. So that means that we're going to be able to see what made him like us. This is kind of cool. Princess. This is pathetic, Karma. I know that you're not in the mood for pleasantries, but this is no excuse to hurt Rumple. Princess, please move. You're acting like a petulant child. Fine. Right. I wasn't expecting him to so easily admit to a mistake. I turned to Rumple. I was only standing up for you, Rumple, because Karma is annoying me. I looked down at my necklace. There's no extra piece. That wasn't a good deed either. Alright. What's happening over here? Durian comes to stand in front of us, her expression stern. Nothing, my sweet. I was just showing myself out. Thank you, Princess Luciette. Clara says, yeah, we are. And I think this is going to be quite interesting because we're effectively seeing it through like his perspective now for what were the key things that stood out to him that made him go, you know, I like this one. Rumple leaves. I'm alone with Karma. Slumps back down into his chair. After making sure he won't do anything rash again, Durian leaves us. Sorry, Princess. It appears I really was being just a child. Okay, so that's that one done. So we now know that that choice is good. Cool. So next choice. Yep. Oh, the clacking sound. What's that? Last time let's see. Clara says Claude likes a girl who can call him out on his BS. Absolutely. I mean, look, I am in favor of that as well. Part of the reason I like Soup is because he calls me out on my bullshit whenever I'm in bullshit mode and can't do stuff. This time, going outside didn't help me. So I think that we're going to remain inside this time. On second thought, maybe it would be dangerous. I turned to see Delora looking at me with amusement flickering in her eyes. Did she come down to visit Mr. Broom or something? I didn't know you two had gotten so close. We haven't. That was a joke, Princess. You really don't have the same sense of humor, do you? I think it was you who does not have the sense of humor. Snappy as a crocodile always. So what are you doing down here? Couldn't sleep? Me too. I heard some sounds. I just wanted to see where they were coming from. Sounds? Are you really spooked by some sounds from the forest? Or are you just too curious for your own good? Curiosity killed the cat, you know. I did not ask for your opinion, witch. Well, the both of us could use some fresh air, don't you think? Okay. Yes, so that was the right choice. This was one of the spots where I messed up. Okay. So that's a correct choice. Return. I stare at her in surprise. Come on, I know a place that we can go. Delora and I eventually find ourselves in the forest. Cool, so this is the normal sound. Clara says, ah, okay. Yeah, so this was one of the ones that I messed up because like it didn't make the sound or anything for that one. So maybe me going by myself outside was a bad choice. Let's skip to the next choice. That makes sense. Didn't Claus have to save Luciette last time? Yes. Okay. I can see why you wouldn't tell her. Because this one's the good one that I chose last time. Clara says he got weirdly overprotective. Yeah, he did. And then he was trying to like keep us away from everything that was dangerous instead of, you know, trying to help us so that way we could be equals. Because she's better than me. No, because if you told her and she refused, then it would be more difficult afterwards. You understand, Princess? Of course I understand. I'm not stupid. No, yeah, that gives me bad vibes, personally. Yeah. Okay, so this is the dialogue we've already seen. So that's fine. This is an okay choice to make. I did save it, didn't I? Yeah, I did. No, I haven't done this one yet. So this is... we'll see if this one actually is the right choice first. So I'll keep going with this. I didn't mean it like that. Don't take offense, Garland. That's just the way she talks. The princess is a fragile flower. Her petals always curved inwards. What does that even mean? See, if it was just Jurian, she'd probably know. I'm just as confused as you are. I don't think so. I don't think anyone would understand half of the fluff that Karma speaks. Okay, that is the right choice. It's because I weave love and dedication into every single one of my words. There's beauty in deciphering them. Alright, so we're good there. Yup. Alright. Return. It's because I weave... Yep, cool. So that means that we can skip to the next choice. It's between those two. We did the cupcake with the pearls last time and that didn't come up as red. No, it came up... Did it come up as red? No, I don't think it came up as red. Let's do the lizard cupcake. Let's see. Clara says Luciette shows empathy. It makes sense. Ah, yes. That does help. So this is new dialogue. Karma seems like a lizard boy. Let's do lizard boy then. I'll have that one.
It's a... Oh my, is that a chameleon?
A chameleon?
It's a chameleon! Oh, that's adorable. So we'll take one of those.
I was thinking that you'd like it for the colors.
The chameleon?
Whatever that is.
Yeah, okay. Let's go enjoy this somewhere else, shall we?
Awesome. Yep. We're just gonna keep going until we get a good choice. A chameleon. Indeed, it's a chameleon. Alright, so then we share the cupcake. This is all the normal dialogue. Skip to the next choice. Here we go. Oh no, also chameleons hide. Yes, they do, they hide. So does Karma.
Karma cuts the chameleon on top in half. I noticed that he gives himself the head, which is a lot cuter, and I get stuck with the tail. Chameleons are little lizards that can blend into their surroundings.
Is he willing to go this far to avoid the subject?
When I was a child, my father used to call me a chameleon.
What?
I hid a lot to avoid my responsibilities. Sometimes no one could find me. Not my father, nor the servants.
If he had servants, then that makes him... a noble? Clara said, take this chameleon butt, Lucia. Yeah!
One day, I was out searching for a mythical creature in our garden. I came across the chameleon. It was a small, silly little lizard, and I'd only found it because I was looking for something fantastic.
The lizard on the cupcake does not seem all that fantastic.
My father explained what it was to me, and he started calling me his silly little chameleon. It was ridiculous, but he said I was always very good at hiding, so it suited me.
Aww, that's cute!
What is it, princess?
It seems like you're still good at hiding. You hide behind your disguise and keep many secrets.
I suppose I'm still a chameleon then.
I don't think that nickname makes any sense.
Sometimes they don't have to. Nicknames don't have to make sense to be endearing, princess.
Can we please just get back to the subject at hand? Okay. So we did save that one. Did we? Okay. Saved it. Good, good. Alright, let's keep trying. Forward to the next choice. Oh, I know which one to do. I want to tease him. I didn't do it last time, and I didn't get the red thing, so this time we're teasing. He obviously wants to leave. I can't help myself. Miss Karma, do you wish to say something? At the very least, you should thank this girl for the compliment. Oh no, it's quite alright. Come on, Karma, you're usually the most charming person on these streets.
Thank you. He sounds like he's dying now. I cannot help but start laughing again. The small annoyance on Karma's face seems to dissipate completely. I mean, look, a bit of a teasing every now and again, that can be fun. I'm leaving. Dang, okay. Wait. First, I need to save, because that was a correct choice. Yep, let's go. Yep, thank you. Next choice. Alright. I know that fighting back's the one to do. I have to fight back. Maybe I can still draw people's attention to me. I try to squirm my way out of the man's arms, but it doesn't work. He chuckles lightly at me until I elbow him in the stomach. For the few moments that I am free, I try to run. That is all too soon. The man grabs me again with the same punishing grip over my mouth and nose to stop me from screaming. You're a real feisty one, aren't you? I feel like I might faint. One last attempt to get free, I tug at the man's hand with my own and I manage to shift it just enough until I can bite down on it. Ow! The man screams in pain, his grip finally loosening. I can hear him curse as I run away from him. A few minutes later, I realize that I have gone in the wrong direction. I soon come to a dead end in the alleyway, and I can hear the man running up behind me. What is this I see before me? Okay, that was the right choice. Good. Pretty sure it was this one. Yes. I look up to see Karma standing on the rooftop. Above us, notes his disguise holding a sword. Okay, the bright grin on his face. Okay, cool. So, skip to the next. Yes! Okay, new dialogue! Okay, cool. Nice! I saw you fight back. It was a very admirable attempt. You saw me? Yes, as you were coming to the end of the alleyway. But I didn't manage to escape. It doesn't matter, Princess. You certainly made the effort. You like the girl who can fight back? And I digress. You're quite welcome, Princess. It was my pleasure. Okay, cool. Skip to the next choice. If someone was smiling, the first feature I would look at on their face would be... Eyes worked, but try the lips. We're going through everything again. We may as well, you know? Despite myself, I find my gaze dropping to Karma's lips. Why do I feel like I'm walking into a trap? Lips? My princess, I didn't think I'd ever hear you say you looked at my lips when I smiled. I did not say that. But you did, Princess. I do believe you were blushing. Even though Karma never said he was referring to his features, I did think about his lips anyway. Thought makes my heart flop. I don't have the faintest idea why. Anyway, I agree. Their eyes are important. The smile isn't quite as brilliant without the lips. Without the lips? I try to imagine a smile without lips, and then I shudder. Okay, so that one was right as well. Cool. Sorry, Princess, I misspoke. I'll try to dispel the image from your mind. Anyway, I'll let you choose the order of things.
Okay, cool. So we got that right. Skip to the next choice. We did try to convince them that was right as well. So let's try convince them. Alright, so this one, you're mistaken, sirs. We've read this dialogue before. The knights look at each other.
You know, she has a point.
She was listening to our conversation. That's clearly suspicious. Did you not hear what I said? I happened to overhear it. Nothing more.
You were cloaked as if you were trying to hide your features. Being out at night without a cloak is a sure way to draw attention to a lady such as myself.
Oh, this is sweet when Karma grabs the coat afterwards. Yes.
You know, she has a point.
Stop saying that, man. Okay, so this one was correct. Cool. Yep. Return. Okay, we've seen this dialogue because it's not letting us see anything else that's like normal text. This one, we step away.
I take a step away from him, and Karma's hands fall from my shoulders. He sighs out.
Story better be just as dramatic as mine. New dialogue, good.
Thank you, Luciette.
For what?
For agreeing to listen.
We got it. Okay, so this was another spot that we messed up. Well, at least we're figuring out where we're a fool.
And for what you just did.
Stepping away from him? Was I distracting him?
Once upon a time.
Here we go. This is that story about him being a prince. So, next spot with new dialogue. We know that he has to tell Durian because that was the correct option, and I'm not changing that. This is all of the dialogue we've had before, but I'm still going to check it. Yep, that's fine. Lucy, it's right. Indeed I am. Let's try and date this man, my gosh. Skip to the next choice. Yes, please. We're trying to make this man fall in love with me. Clara says, I'm back. I had to give the cat some water just now. Ooh, how is the cat anyway, Clara? Say hello to cat for me. In this case, biting hand. Biting the hand. I feel terrible about this, but I have to try. I shift my head to get enough space to bite down. Even Claude cannot hold me completely still as I squirm. Eventually, the hand over my mouth moves just enough for me to open my mouth, but I falter. I cannot bite the hand I just injured. Unable to do anything else, I mutely shake my head. I hear Claude groan. One swift moment, he pushes me down to the ground, pinning my hands by my head as he frowns.
I'm not even going to try and find an opening.
I glare at him. I'm not going to bite your hand.
Bite my hand? I didn't even think of that.
He made it so obvious. You put your hand over my mouth.
I meant for you to try and move my hand. Pushing back a person's thumb usually causes their grip to loosen.
How was I supposed to know that?
Experience is the best means of practice, as I say.
Perfecto. Good. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. He's falling in love with us. We're winning. Clara says she's good. She had a croaky meow every now and again, which is quite odd. She's quite emotional and cries if I walk off. Aw, sweetie. Sweetheart. Comforting him didn't work last time, so it must be scold him. Clara says she also cries when my mum leaves to go to Go to my pups. Oh. Doesn't matter if something's bothering him. It isn't like him to be so rude. Irritation is no excuse for rudeness. Yeah, so this is what we chose before. Fine, I apologize. Happy? He looks at me for a few moments, his expression twisted into a defiant scowl, but he doesn't hold it long. Moments later, his expression softens, and he looks away, almost in shame. I'm sorry. This apology sounds real. But still, why do I feel so disappointed? Okay, so that's good. We're getting there. Post-choice. Yep, let's turn down to 3 so we can start at the top. Forward! Okay, running errands first worked. So run the errands first. Walt has a good point. We might be able to find something while we do the errands. Then we can get them out of the way. Besides, it's not right for me to put Claude above everyone else. Yep, that was the right choice. Cool. I was remembering correctly. So this is what happens when you remember that you mess up sometimes. What kind of cat is this? The cat that you've posted in the Discord before, Clara? Or do you have another cat? We spend a few hours gathering the supplies we need for the tavern, and only then do we start looking for Claude's gift. Okay. Cool, next choice. Awesome. So this one was, I came to speak with you. I remember that. I came to give him something, but I also want to speak with him. I haven't seen Claude in a while. Why? Has he been doing everything by yourself lately? You came to complain. No, I wanted to check on you. Can you not read the mood? You could have at the very least knocked. He's still hot, everybody. Still hot. In no time at all, Claude is suddenly right in front of me, his hands outstretched on either side of me, pinning me to the wall against the door. His face so close, his expression so fierce, I cannot even bring myself to think of a way out. The only thing I can do is stare at him levelly. Without getting angry. Without crying. I'll not show you any weakness. Why? Why aren't you struggling or screaming at me? That's what the Luciad I know would do. And you do not know me as much as you think you do. And you know nothing about me. I already have a retort prepared when I stop, realizing he's right. I barely know anything about him. No, I don't. But I'd like to. Why do you insist on poking your nose into other people's business? They're partners. That's the only reason. It has to be. I'm supposed to help you, so why do you keep secrets from me? Help me? His lips quirk. His smile is sardonic. Claude, I want to help you. There's silence that descends between us. I find I cannot help but look at Claude's tattoo. Thorns twirling around the rose. It is beautiful. It seems so lethal. When I glance at Claude again, he looks crestfallen, his eyes glittering. He might be on the verge of tears. Secrets. Secrets for a reason, princess. You should know that. If I could speak about them, I would, but I can't. You bursting into my room without any notice makes it harder. Harder? What? Princess. Can't imagine what this feels like. What's he talking about? That woman!
what we were meant to be. She was so lovely. Smile as bright as the sun. Claude's eyes are far away again. That's why. Again. But then you ruin everything, Luciette. You cut me down like... I pushed my hands against Claude's chest, catching him off guard and forcing him to stumble backwards. I cannot take any of this. If I've ruined everything, I'll just leave. You can have all of the time in the world to yourself then. The locket I'd bought from burns in my hands. I end up throwing it at his feet. Luciette, wait! I ignored him as I ran.
Okay. So, we did that one. That was the right one. No, hang on a second. Just let me look. Right. Let's go back one and see. 1602 918. Yes, 16. Yeah, I think so. This one. Yep. Yes, okay, it is. Cool. Cool. Let's continue. Let's see. Clara says, so I have 3 cats. This is Skinny Tabby Cat that often sits on my shoulders. Her name is Sophie, or Butt Cheeks, or Shit Twizzler. Nice. Oh, excellent names. Fitness check. He's all good in that department. Oh, yes, of course. Of course. I know that pointing the sword at him worked. I'm pretty sure that I'd recognize Claude's hand. But because I know it's him, I also know what he'd want me to do. I duck away from his hand and quickly point to my sword. The tip of the wood is at his neck, and for a few stunned moments, I think I've won. Even Claude looks surprised. It's really him. But then Claude's hands have moved. He has one hand over my wrist and the other on my sword. Good news yet. I realized you had an opening. You broke your concentration. Perfect. Claude. Claude removes his hand, allowing me to lower my sword. I'm sorry, Luciette. Aww. Skip to the next choice. We know that I want a hug is the one that we needed to do. So we can go through that. Huh? Claude looks at me in surprise. Thinks I'm being foolish for making such a request, doesn't he? Shouldn't have said anything. Before I can say anything else, Claude takes a step forward and wraps me in his arms. Pulls me towards him, and in those moments of silence, all I can hear is his heartbeat resounding in his chest. I can feel his warmth all around me, his fingers clasped tightly at my back. It feels so strange. My heart is racing, my knees feel weak. Something like this. Yep. Exactly like that. Okay, so fast forward. We're nearly there. We're nearly there, everybody. Hopefully we get the good ending. Thank you worked.
Never need to thank me, Luciette.
You've done so much for me. Let's see. Clara says, weird question. Do you enjoy hearing another person's heartbeat? Yes, actually. Fun fact / not so fun fact. When I was younger, I used to have a pocket watch. This particular pocket watch would click pretty loudly, but it would click in about the regular rhythm of an ordinary heartbeat. And I would listen to the clock under my pillow sometimes when I was really small, because I would imagine that I'm cuddling up with somebody when I'm cuddling a pillow, And then that made it less scary to fall asleep. Because back in those days, I used to be scared of the dark. I'm not scared of the dark anymore, but it was comforting. Clara says, I've seen it portrayed as a romantic moment, but personally I can't stand the sound. Clara says, aww. Yeah. Yeah, it's so sweet and adorable. Well, thank you. Younger me was just trying to look wherever comfort and stuff was possible. No matter where they found it, they would try and grab it. I know that as far as like hearing the heartbeat in general, that can kind of help you re-regulate. If you're listening to somebody else's heartbeat and their breathing, you can then kind of match yours to theirs and calm down if you're stressed. Yellow says, Andy, how are we today? We're okay, Yellow. We're going through and trying to get the good route with Karma now because I killed him. I killed him on my first playthrough. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it, but I ended up getting the death route, and I was devastated. But we're fixing all of our decisions because luckily, we saved a lot during the game, so we're able to go back to the choices and start from that point at least. How are you going, Yellow? It's so good to see you. What are you have you been up to today? Anu! Yes, Anu!
It's not just the sword fighting, it's your patience, your company. You're saving me when I needed help. That's not true. I'm pretty sure I'm the most selfish person in this tavern. All I ever want is things for myself. I've never thought you were selfish, Claude.
Never thought that you were selfish.
He puts a hand to my cheek and looks at me sullenly. I don't think that me wanting you is... Suddenly he steps back. His hand in his chest again. He's breathing heavy. Stare at Claude with wide eyes. Claude, okay?
Next choice. Let's see. Yellow says, I'm doing good, just at work, finishing up for the day. Been a slow day. Oh, so did you get to sit down and have lots of breaks and have snacks and food? I'm glad that you're doing well though. It's always a pleasure to hear. I want to chuck you, Karma.
About what? Claude takes a step back, and I stare at his hand absently moves to his chest. Are you really okay, Claude? I'm perfectly fine this past week. He's lying. He's obviously in pain. Why do you have to keep your pain a secret? Why won't you talk to me? I told you before. Some things are better kept a secret, Princess.
But was it really? Is that really what's best, Claude? Or is this just what you think is best?
Claude sighs out, then leans forward to set a hand on my head. Lucette, promise you'll stay behind me if we're attacked. And if at any point it looks like we may not make it, you're to run as fast as you can back to the margin. That's cowardly! Lucette, don't you remember what I said before? Sometimes running is the right thing to do. Never run into an impossible situation. Instead, live to fight another day. Promise me you'll stay behind. Please, Lucette. Give me the peace of mind. Promise.
Yellow says, not sit, because I barely sit because of my back. But I've been standing and crocheting and relaxing. Ooh, that does sound nice. What is the crocheted thing that you're making at the minute? Yellow says, oh, thanks. One's mine and one's one of my favorite streamers. We have a hiking cozy community. Yes, Yellow Cyber Geek does. If you do not follow Yellow Cyber Geek already, go over and check out Yellow's channel. They're an amazing, amazing streamer. They got many cozy people over there. And I really enjoy my time sitting around and watching them play all kinds of games. It's a vibey time over there. So highly recommend going and checking them out and supporting them. If it will make him feel better before going into a mission, I cannot deny his request.
Claude's expression softens as he moves away from me. I'll stay behind you. Thank you, Princess. Let's attempt to sleep in preparation for tomorrow.
When this is all over, I'll pry Claude's secrets out of him. Okay, this is the last choice, chat. Let's see if we fucked it up. Forward to the next choice. Yellow says, "No, you're too sweet, Andy." Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. Of course, I'm gonna share all of the coziness around. More cozy to go around, the better, as I say. Yellow says, "I'm still working on my temperature blanket." Oh, are you like logging your personal temperature on each day for when you get sick, or is it like temperature as in like the weather sort of temperature? Clara says, "Ooh, more cozy streamers. Yay." Indeed. Indeed, there are more cozy streamers. Everybody gets to be cozy. If I'm not online, check out Yellow. Yellow streams later than I do most evenings. So we'll occasionally be raiding and stuff. So that's always good.
I could never be afraid of you.
This is my final choice. Let's see what I do.
What is there to be afraid of?
Claude wears a pained expression. He looks at me. I see him once again grabbing the collar of his dress, like he's in some kind of quiet agony.
That's what she said too.
Is he talking about that one woman from before? The one who didn't love him? He thinks I'm the same? I'm not like her.
Luciette.
Yellow says, "Nah, logging the max temperature every day, and every color is a 5 degrees Celsius range." Ooh, what colors do you have for the blanket so far? It's a really cool idea.
Claude's voice trails off at the sound of running. His hand moves quickly to the hilt of his sword, just as I reach for mine. We only relax when we see it's Jurian, Garland, and Delora heading towards us. Why are they alone? Where are the king and queen?
They weren't in the prison. I have no idea where else they could be.
Delora steps out from between the two of them, her expression somber. This doesn't bode well for us at all. We can't keep sneaking without a direction. It's a sure way to get caught.
The words have just left her mouth when the alarm bell sounds behind us.
Don't tell me.
That's the alarm! Everyone draws their weapons as Waltz appears, running towards us with a harried expression on his face. The knights are on their way! How did they know we were here? In seconds I hear the clanking of metal, then there are knights upon us. We are forced to scatter to deal with the different opponents. A guard rushes at me with his sword and somehow I manage to block his attack. I should be able to wind around him. The knight falls after I catch him from behind and give Claude an opening to attack him.
Luciette! Stay behind me! promised I would, remember? Let's keep it that way. A smile flashes across his face, and for a few moments he seems more like the Claude that I know. Yellow says, so far lots of orange, yellow, and red. Ooh, sounds like it'll be an interesting temperature blanket. Lots of bright colors. A night manages to separate Claude and I, leaving me by myself. He grabs my arm. Unhand me! I watch in shock as a shimmering fog surrounds my attacker. His eyes close as he slumps to the ground. He's only the first to fall. Seconds later, most of the knights in my immediate vicinity have fallen to the ground. I can tell by the subtle rise and fall of their chests. They are asleep. Sorry I couldn't focus long enough to cast that spell earlier. Yellow says, but I have like 10 colors total. Black in the max range, then dark red, bright red, orange, yellow, green, blue-green, light blue, bright blue, deeper blue, purple. I don't think it'll be used, so I haven't bought it yet. That's fair. Laura says, did that giant symbol flash on the screen last time? Yes. That's Delora's spell. Head to the entrance hall. The king must be in one of the central rooms. Durian and Garland and I will head back to the bedchambers in the east wing to look for the queen. Splitting up is not part of the plan. We don't have much of a choice anymore if we're going to get to the king and the queen out of here. We have to improvise. Now go! Claude grabs my hand and jerks his head at Waltz. Let's go. The three of us rush out, into one of the palace hallways. I keep my gaze forward while Waltz and Claude watch for enemies on either side of us. All right. Claude grabs his sword and then moves before Waltz and I can respond. He dives low towards a soldier, his sword poised straight for a devastating blow. The knights begin to approach from the left. I raise my sword, readying myself. Waltz snaps his fingers and a flash of light blinding the men in the immediate vicinity, and I use the opportunity to rush the knight in front of me. I grit my teeth as I attack. Most of my blows are lucky. There are too many knights for me to be able to get the upper hand. So many of them. Well, if it isn't the most desirable princess. I whip around to attack the man that spoke to me, but he's nowhere to be found. Where is he? Who are you? I wonder. Luciette! I turn and see Claude running towards me, a panicked expression in his eyes. I take a step towards him when a masked man suddenly blocks my path. Who are you? I raise my sword, but the masked man taps his cane on the floor before I can swing. An incredible pressure blasts from the cane. It shoves Claude to the floor and blows me backwards. I hit the wall hard. My vision darkens. Claude. Where am I? Why can't I see anything? My head hurts. Rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. I jerk upright at the familiar voice. You're the man who knocked me out! Man laughs. I blink, trying to pinpoint the direction of the voice. Did he blindfold me? I command you to take this blindfold off immediately! I don't take care of orders from princesses that nobody remembers. But I am a gentleman. I suppose I'll have to heed the lady's request. Blindfold is abruptly pulled off. I flinch at the sudden brightness. Why, hello there, princess. My captor looks at me amused. There's a crooked grin on his masked face, a cape on his shoulder. Who is he? My eyes wander to the throne. I cannot help but gasp at what I see. king is strapped to the throne, hands bound, mouth covered. Your Majesty! The king pauses to look at me, his eyes containing a mixture of alarm and confusion. I turn to glare at the masked man. Let him go! No can do, princess. Oh. Don't you think he still looks regal sitting on his throne like that? I grit my teeth as I begin to struggle against my bonds. Struggle all you like. I get out of those knots anytime soon. Who are you? The masked man drops into an elegant bow. I'm called Varg. Varg? What have you done to my father? Me? Nothing. Well, nothing much. I guess gagging a person and tying their hands behind their back counts as something. Are you working for Sir Alacaster? I don't work for anyone. So he's a mercenary? The door flies open and Alacaster steps in, his face full of anger.
Mithras, the fool! How absolutely useless he was!
Varg gives a dismissive shrug. He regards me again with his mischievous smile. Well, I do agree with that wholeheartedly. That man is in the past. Here in the present, we have someone far more interesting to deal with. Varg gestures at me. I glare at Varg before turning my gaze to Alacaster. I used to think Alacaster was someone to be respected. Not anymore.
If it isn't the princess herself.
You remember who I am? Once Mithras made the connection, it was far too obvious to be false. Could Sir Mithras remember me? Alacaster shifts his attention to the king.
Gennaro, do you not remember this girl as your own blood daughter?
My eyes meet the king's, but I see no recognition in his gaze. He cannot remember me. I have not managed to break my curse yet. Why are you doing this to my father? To the kingdom?
Everything I do for the kingdom. All successful rulers have run with an iron fist. Fear is the best motivator. A king that is too lenient does not just inspire fear, has no business being on the throne.
But the people of Angel love their king. Before I had thought that the townspeople were despicable because they hated me. Now I understand those reasons. They may have judged me as mother's daughter, but it's wrong. But that does not mean that they should be subject to a regime of fear.
Your obligation as a ruler is to rule for the country, not for the people.
Back when the queen was still alive, this place knew the fear of the witches. They were far more productive.
Fear motivates. Fear makes a man.
King Alacaster!
You better have a good reason for interrupting.
Your Highness, there's a beast!
What are you blathering about, you fool?
A beast! A magical beast! It's rampaging the palace!
Is this the dead witch's doing?
Dead? Witch? Oh, no, Dolores fine. She has to be.
Out with it! Did Mithras do it?
What? I cannot stop myself from blurting the question. Sir Mithras is a witch?
He was a witch, but now he's dead.
He turns to his knight and demands more information. I'm too shocked to hear the words. Sir Mithras, a witch? Possible.
What are the other palace intruders?
We've managed to apprehend some of them, but we can't get to everybody with that beast taking us out.
Damned Mithras! Still a pain, even after death.
What did you do to Sir Mithras?
Did you not hear me, girl? He's dead. Killed by my hand.
Why?
He was helpful at first. We worked together to achieve our own personal goals.
He eyes me cautiously.
He wanted you, princess.
If Sir Mithras is a witch, that would explain why he still remembered me. Why did he want me? Who knows? It doesn't matter anymore. I gave him my knights to assist him in his search when the witches could not, but in the end that fool was too power-hungry. You never entered into my plans. You would have been safe, Princess, if you had just stayed put. But now that you're here, come in handy.
Alcester turns back to the knight, who immediately bursts into explanation once more.
The beast is moving quickly. We don't know how much longer we can keep him from this room.
There's a beast in the palace? And Sir Mithras is doing? I'm so confused. What happened to the others? Are they okay?
Let me go, Alcester. You are not going anywhere. Sounds like some of your friends are very persistent. They'll be coming for you. And when they get here, I will kill them. You, Princess, are going to make excellent bait. You know, I like this turn of events. It's kind of amusing. You, tell me where all of this is.
Varg looks unmoved by Alacaster's anger.
It is Mithras who summoned the beast, is it not? Then you must know what's happening. You're asking me? Of all people.
Ah! As if I would be able to answer any of your questions.
You... Bug!
Doesn't matter how many times you say my name, Alacaster. I won't have any answers for you. Sir Alacaster turns to me, his eyes manic.
Whether this is Mithras's magic or magic belonging to one of your friends, I'm not gonna let it live.
Could Delora cast beast out of thin air? Sir Alacaster draws his sword from his sheath and curses under his breath. I squirm, desperate to find some kind of break in my restraint. Varg surprises me, however, by reaching down and cutting the ropes, binding my arms with a sword that I recognize. You have my sword! I stand up as quickly as I can and grab the sword from him. That was too easy. I eye Varg warily as his mouth twists into a smirk. What are you doing? Why are you helping me?
Help? All I did was cut some rope. Besides, I'm interested to see what you'll do with that toothpick of a sword.
He talks like he doesn't care at all what happens.
Oh, don't think about it too much, Princess. It's probably a little too much for your small head.
I swing my sword towards him and Varg catches it with his cane.
You really think that I'm the one that you should be fighting?
The door creaks and falls off its hinges. The knights stumble back. I hear scrambling as loud footsteps sound against the tile halls. Clara, Varg, I didn't free you. I just happened to trim some rope that you happened to be wrapped in. Literally, though.
So what will you do? Run? Hide? Or will the beast kill you too?
My eyes focus on the large figure entering the room. I cannot make out the specifics at first. The form grows more distinct the further that it moves into the room. Whatever this is, I can't fight it. There's a moment of eerie silence. Then Alacaster yells and the knights rush forward, attacking the beast as a collective. The beast throws them off with surprising nimbleness, his rage in every swipe. I dodge away just before a man's body falls on top of me.
Over here, beast!
Sir Alcaster rushes the beast. I finally manage to get a clear line of sight to the king, who is still bound and helpless on the throne. I have to get him out of here. I run towards the throne, but someone stops me dead in my tracks.
Saving the king really shouldn't be your priority right now.
I grit my teeth and swing my sword at Varg, but he easily darts away from me. I would be watching my back. It is then that I notice the beast, slowly making its way towards me. Why would it be after me? Or I stay here and fend it off, or
Elcaster catches the beast with a broad swipe of his sword, and the two are focused once more on each other. I glance urgently at the king and then at the doors. The beast moves again, and I realize that it is once more heading towards me. There's no way I can help the king in all this mess. I need help. I have to find the others. Hopefully Elcaster will keep this beast busy long enough for me to get to them. I turn and bolt through the room, weaving my way through the chaos of the nights as I head towards the door. I glance over my shoulder one last time at the king. His eyes are trained on the battle before him. His hands grip the arms of his throne. There is nothing he can do. I'm so sorry. I'll be back. For now, I have to find the others. I dart past the carnage in the room, stepping over and around the bodies as they appear. Halfway to the door, the beast lunges past Elcaster for a few moments. I think he might attack me. Stay back! I hold my sword out in front of me and stand in a defensive position, just like Claude taught me. But the beast never reaches me.
Ruined everything, beast!
Elcaster is suddenly in front of me, waving the sword at the beast. I stumble back towards the door, my heart beating loudly in my chest. I have to get out of here. Chapter 10. Beauty and the Beast. Hey guys. Hey guys. We got a new ending. Time to pay attention if you weren't before. This is new stuff. Where did the beast come from? The knights immediately rush towards me and I back away as far as I can without re-entering the throne room. Princess, come quietly. We'll keep you safe until all this dies down. I cannot take them all at once. Even knowing that I still put out my sword, I take a few steps back. Then I feel my back pressed up against something. The beast stands behind me, its back to me. I stand in its shadow, realizing that if I turned around, it could swap me to the walls, just like the rest of its victims. But it's just standing there. Together. Together? Beast says nothing more, though I still feel on edge. Something oddly familiar about this. Claude once told me it was better to fight back. Farah says for a second I was like, what? When I mentioned Luciette's defensive position? Yes, same. So good. That was a little nuance there. I will trust you for now, whatever you are. I don't know if it understands me, but I can hope. It seems more like a human than any kind of animal. Princess, get away from the beast! It will... The knight never finishes its sentence as the beast sends him flying through the air. Why is it helping me? The knights fall like dominoes to the beast, but manage to remain standing when I strike them with my sword. Just taking one down is so hard. These men have been trained for years. I haven't even had the luxury of a year. Out of the corner of my eye, I sense movement. I see a gleam of silver, a grunt. The sword is raised into the air. The sword is nowhere near reaching me, but... The beast! I aim a kick at the approaching knight before whirling around to look at the beast. The oncoming sword comes closer to the beast's exposed back, and I know that the beast will not be able to dodge it in time. Move! I shove past the creature and catch the knight's sword with my own before it can harm the beast. My arms are shaking underneath the grunt strength of the impact between our swords. I feel like my arm is about to give out. Then a flash of light appears, so bright, everyone is temporarily blinded. I stumble back, rubbing my eyes. From the sound of it, the beast continues to drive back the knights. Most of them are shouting to each other to retreat. What was that? When I'm finally able to see again, my eyes automatically land on my feet. I stare in shock. Cinderella's glass slippers.
Glass slippers? I quickly reach up to my pendant and realize the pendant is no longer there. I completed the 3 good deeds?
Luciette.
It knows my name. I look around and realize the beast and I are alone. The knights have long fled. Did the beast drive off the rest of them? I feel a pressure at my back. I realize the beast is touching me. My first instinct is to run, but the words it utters next paralyze me.
You... okay?
Every word sounds breathless and pained, like it takes too much energy to speak. It's worried about me. I watch in shock as the beast appears to gesture towards my shoes.
You... did it.
I step back warily. What are you? The beast reaches out and I see something glittering in the palm of its hand. A necklace. The rose locket! For a few moments my heart plummets to my stomach and my hands begin to quiver. What did you do to Claude? The beast's shadowed fingers curl over the locket, even as he stares at me.
Gave me.
I gave that locket to Claude! The beast only stares a few moments longer. And then suddenly I realize that his words, nothing more than a pained growl, do not hold any malice. I gave that locket to you? The beast slowly nods. My grasp on my sword loosens as I stare at him in shock, the realization dawning on me. Lord?
Yes.
So this is your secret. Why would you not tell me? I could have hurt you! Lord has yet another form, cursed form, he never told me about. Why? As my mind whirls, I feel it all coming together like pieces of a puzzle.
Secrets are secrets for a reason, princess. You should know that. If I could speak on them, I would. I can't. Yet I wish I could explain. You would hate me, or more accurately, you would be afraid of me.
All those times that Claude was clutching at his chest. You were touching your tattoo like so many times before. Like you were in pain. The beast growls. The sound is surprisingly soft. Almost a sigh.
Yes.
The tattoo was
A warning.
first time I saw that tattoo, it was a beautiful rose. Second, it had more thorns. When the rose became ensnared in thorns, did he transform? And he always touches his tattoo when he comes too close to me. Lord, your curse did not just make others fall in love with you. It stopped you from loving anyone else, too, didn't it? He mentioned that woman before, the one that he thought loved him but didn't. Is it possible that she saw him in this form, was terrified of him? If you loved anyone, you would turn into a beast. You loved a woman once. She only loved you because of your curse. The moment you transformed, she was scared of you. Wasn't she?
Yes.
He sounds so pained. The reason Claude had been trying to hide everything from me is because he's scared I would have feared him. Is that why beauty has always been so important to him? Because the curse cast upon him makes him both beautiful and beast?
I wanted you to love me, but no one could. beast.
His words were dwindling. It almost sounds like he's being suffocated on the inside. How slowly he's speaking. Lord, I've never cared much about appearances. People have worn masks on their faces their whole life around me. Lord, I take a deep breath and face him. I will love you, no matter what form you may take. I drop my sword to the ground and make my way over to him. I rest my cheek on his chest, and I wrap my arms around him. I love you. The room is filled with a bright but gentle light. It almost feels as if I'm bathing in sunlight. For a few moments, I forget my worries. Everything feels blissful and quiet. My heart is full. Then, moments later, I feel warm arms around my waist.
I love you too, Luciette.
When I open my eyes, I still can't see anything, even though I know the light is faded. The warmth is still there too, but I now feel it immediately on my skin, and I realize it's because Claude is hugging me. Not as a beast, but as a man. We did it! Yay! Did I break his curse? I realize this is the first time that Claude has ever touched me such a long period of time without moving away. Tentatively, I move my hands, feeling the fabric of his shirt and the warmth of him underneath. Claude. Before I can finish my sentence, my lips are sealed. I feel Claude's lips on mine, only briefly, but it's enough to make me suddenly feel faint. Pulls away from me with a brilliant smile.
I've always wanted to do that. Luciette, you're blushing. If I could, I would kiss you again, but we have some urgent things to attend to, my love.
The reality of the situation begins to seep back to me. My father, Varg, Alacaster. They're still in the throne room. I'm gonna read the chat briefly before we head back to the throne room. Clara says, I like how Luciette's like, why are you helping me? I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah, beast friend. Oh, they're fighting together. Oh, it's gonna be so hard to run in. I was right about the curse. Yes, you were. Yellow says, alrighty, might be back later, but it's time for me to head home, so I'll be gone for a bit. If I don't make it back, hope the rest of everyone's evenings is amazing, and hope the rest of the stream goes well. Thank you so much, Yellow. I appreciate that one. You enjoy your trip home. If I don't see you later, then I hope you have a good evening. Clara says, I hope he's not naked. Well, he's not naked. We're good. Yay, not naked. Woo! The king.
Let's go, Luciette.
When Claude and I rush to the throne room, my attention is immediately grabbed by the king calling my name.
Luciette!
He's still bound to the throne though. His gag is removed. A rush of relief floods through me. He's alive. He's alive and he remembers me. My gaze is drawn to the two men battling at the base of the throne. Their swords are locked together in stalemate. Alacaster and... Fritz? What's happened here? This is not how you gain power.
I knew you would be a sword at my side from the moment that I concocted this plan. Where's Varg?
The only one here is me, and I will... Fritz's concentration slips as his eyes land on me. The opening is small, but it's enough to give Alacaster the opportunity he needs. Watch out! Claude is already running over to help, but even he is too slow. Alacaster disarms Fritz before driving his sword through Fritz's chest.
No! Alcaster pulls the sword out of Fritz's chest just fast enough to deflect Claude's attack. As Claude drives Alcaster away from the throne, I rush to where Fritz has collapsed to the ground. His eyes are already growing glassy. Fritz! I lean over him. So much blood. I glare at Alcaster. How could you do this to your own son? Anyone in my way will meet my sword. Blood does not matter. Princess. I turn back to Fritz in alarm. Tears in my eyes. Fritz, hold on. Don't speak. You need to conserve your energy, Fritz. Princess, I'm sorry. Fritz, please, don't speak. I feel bitter tears stinging my eyes. I'm sorry. I watch the light seep from Fritz's eyes. I put my hands to his chest and feel for a heartbeat. It's gone. Fritz! I glance up at the sound to see Claude at the far side of the room, struggling to get to his feet. Ursiette, watch out! I turn, but not fast enough. I see Alcaster's sword raised high in the air. I know it will reach me before I can even pick up my sword.
Clara says, I wonder if the king will be sorry towards Luciette. He seemed to treat her kind of poorly, like he was more interested in the new children. No, Fritz, no! I've known you for like 5 seconds, but you were truly a cutie. Yeah, I agree. Fritz is adorable. Maybe we'll have to play Fritz's route next. I don't know, maybe. Magic! Magic! The sword falls from Alcaster's hands as a bright red ribbon of light twines around the hilt and drags it far from reach. I turn and see Delora standing a short distance away, Durian, Garland, and Waltz all standing behind her. I'm afraid your performance as the king has been incredibly disappointing. Durian and Garland move in together, rushing Alcaster from the same side. I see Claude moving in from the other side, quiet and lethal. Princess! Waltz and Delora rush over to me as the fighting continues. Alcaster has reclaimed his sword and is trying to evade the attacks from the 3 different swords at once. The king. Waltz nods at me, his gaze lingering on Fritz. His expression becomes solemn. He walks off to the throne, while Delora kneels beside me. Delora. Delora shakes her head. That's all I need to know. There is nothing more that can be done. We'll make sure he's properly honored. But for now, we need to get you out of here. About Ophelia. Waiting for us somewhere safe, I constructed a shield around her that will keep her hidden from view and harm until we return for her. Weren't we meant to bring the royal family back to the march first? Not when we're missing the king. Besides, plans change when a magical beast starts rampaging the castle. Princess! I turn to look at Alcaster, who somehow is managing to scream my name despite the fact he's quickly overwhelmed. Princess, we could have worked together! If you're more like your mother, you could have ruled with grace, beauty, and fear. Flinch, and Delora's hands come to rest on my forearm, grip steadying. That is enough. I look up to see that the king has stopped to stand beside me. To my surprise, the king rests a gentle hand on my shoulder, his eyes soft as he looks at me. Luciette, we have a lot to talk about, but right now, I have something I must do. I nod mutely as I watch the king draw his sword. He makes his way to Alcaster, Durin, Garland, and Claude, all step back from where they have forced Alcaster to one knee. You are a traitor, lacking any honor, Alcaster. You are the one who lacked honor. A ruler must have the people beneath his thumb. A ruler must lead the people, not suffocate them. His oath as the king is to protect them. You are no king, Alcaster.
your crimes, I find you guilty and incapable of rehabilitation. The sentence for your severity of your crimes is death. The king raises his sword, and I turn away before he strikes down. There's no sound or scream to follow. I turn once more to see that the king has pointed the sword at Alacaster's chest, but has not killed him. You will stay in the prisons until the time for your trial comes. Though you may try to refute these claims, you will be tried as traitor to the kingdom. And then, only then, you will be executed. Alcaster's shoulders fall, the glare never leaving his face, not even when the guards seize him to drag him from the room. The king immediately sends Durian and Garland out to deal with any knights that are still part of the coup. Honestly, that takes self-restraint. That is way more restraint than I would have in that situation. Delora and Claude help with moving Fritz's body, while Waltz tries his best to fill the king in on the most basic points of our successful operation.
Clara says, "Oh, here we go! Yeah, we got it! Oh, we've got the ending music!" Everything has died down a little bit over the last hour, but I still feel overwhelmed. I glance at Waltz and the king, who is still speaking. Every time the king sees me looking at him, he flashes me an uncertain smile before glancing away. I know he wants to speak with me, but I will talk to him after. And get Fritz's body out of my mind. It was my fault he died, wasn't it? He saw me and stumbled. Hey, princess. What are you doing here? I thought you'd changed, but you still got some feistiness in you, don't you?
Many years ago, when the war ended, we were all faced with a feeling just like this, princess. We had lost so much. The future seemed so grim. Now it's different. You have a future. You broke your curse, princess. That gives you some kind of hope. And in addition, you broke Karma's. Memories of Claude's arms around me, of his lips on mine, come flying back to my foggy mind. My heart feels light, a little tight, but it is a little lighter when I think of him. I wish he was here right now. How did I break Claude's curse? Claude. Ugh, I don't even think I'll get used to his real name. Seems like he hasn't told you yet. Guess it has been pretty hectic. So Claude turned into a beast because he loved me? Well, I guess I could give you the laydown of his curse.
Yes! Give us the laydown! Tell us all! Tell us all, Delora! We need to know. Clara says, "Luciette, honey, you don't need to speak with him. You can just leave. You have a future husbando if you want it. A furry chameleon boy." Yes. Ball says, "I want to steal her hair. Honestly, I don't blame you. Her hair is stunning." How's it going, Ball?
Stop! Desist!
Delora has not even started speaking when Claude runs into the room, gasping as if he's been running through the halls.
Curse? Are you speaking about my curse?
There is no way he heard us talking in the hallway, is there?
Even I feel at a loss for words right now. I sense that you might be talking about me, that's all. Princess was just asking me about your curse. Oh, well then I was right to come running. Here I was, just guessing at what you might be talking about.
Ball says, "LMAO, Claude and me the same." Yeah, the same.
Claude's curse was based off the tale Beauty and the Beast.
Claude easily finishes a sentence. Delora holds up her hands as if into surrender.
So eager to steal the spotlight. Well, you are talking about me, after all.
You always told me that your curse was just Beauty's curse, though.
Well, yes. Because the other half was a little difficult to explain, wasn't it?
He does have a point, though I think he might have been able to save us all some trouble if he hadn't been so secretive about his curse. He really must have been scared that I would shun him.
Allow me to explain, Princess. In the fairy tale, the Prince of the Kingdom is transformed into a beast because his heart is as cold as ice.
Sounds familiar to a certain icy princess, hey? I was just trying to lighten the mood.
Odd sighs. I would call Lucy at something far more flattering, like my sweet, beloved...
We were talking about your curse?
Oh, right. Well, anyway. The witch who was cursed the prince in the tale tells him that he has to learn to love and be loved before the petals of a rose completely fall off.
A rose?
Yes, she gives him a rose, and he keeps it protected under the glass. Some time passes, and the rose continues to wither away. A maiden finds the beast, and eventually the two fall in love. At the end of the tale, she confesses her love to the beast, and he transforms back into a human.
By confessing, I saved you? His curse was different from the tale.
I know what you're thinking, but my curse was somewhat different, yes?
It was more... complicated.
The witch made it so that I was both the beauty and the beast. She said that it suited me because I was so vain. The witch constructed a very roundabout curse. Any woman who falls in love with me falls in love with me as the beauty. And when I transform into the beast, the enchantment will break, and they would become terrified of me.
I doubt that Claude ever thought that he would break his curse. The love that women felt for him while he was cursed was always fake. How could that kind of love hold strong when he turned into the beast if it was never true to begin with?
And then you came along, Princess. I bet he'd just about given up hope and was waiting for you to dispel the curse on your birthday.
Well, but now here you both are.
But the ice, Princess? In love? Well, what a miracle.
I turn away embarrassed. It's not a miracle.
I'm very glad that I met you, Luciette. Lady Delora's words are the truth. I had just about given up hope. I never had any hopes of breaking my curse. I thought that the only way to fix it would be to have you dispel it on your birthday. Then I came to know you, and...
He fell in love. Oh, a fairy tale indeed.
You started out frowning at everyone and everything.
Oh, you've come a long way, Princess. Congratulations, you turned out to be a pretty okay princess. And you turned out to be a pretty okay witch. Do my ears deceive me? A compliment from our little witch? You look so surprised. But you'll be the new bearer of the crystal real soon, Princess. I expect good things from you. Right. I almost forgot about that part. I'll try my best. Yet another miraculous proclamation from the little witch. Will the surprises ever cease? Before I can snap at Delora again, the king awkwardly interjects, coming to stand next to us with Waltz by his side. Clara says, so vain you take up all the characters in the story, huh? That do sound like you, Walt. Yup, very much.
Pardon the intrusion.
Not at all, your majesty.
Waltz told me that you were cursed, and that's why I forgot about you.
Yes.
Even if it was by a curse, I feel terrible that such a thing could have ever happened. I'll make it up to you. we can catch up from where we were many, many years ago. Maybe things could be different. I'm sorry. What for? For being the way I was before. For shunning Ophelia and her children. Oh. Ophelia, did they bring her back to the Marchen? Well, Ophelia's still here. After the fight was over, she was shown back to her room. She is still waiting for Rod and Emma Jane to return. Now, would you maybe be willing to tell me this story from the beginning? Perhaps I could fill in the gaps, Your Majesty. Claude. The king looks startled when he stares at Claude. He blinks as if he was just noticing his presence. Oh, and you are? Claude elegantly bows before the king. I am Prince Claude of Brigantia. Pleasure to finally meet you, Your Majesty. Lost prince. The king turns to me with a puzzled look. It's a long story. Claude surprises me by wrapping an arm around my shoulders and pulling me closer to him. Everyone looks shocked, except for Delora, who is looking like she's trying not to laugh. As the princess's lover, I feel like it is my obligation to help her explain this whole mess. I feel my face getting hotter at Claude's sudden proclamation. All their eyes are on me now, and I suddenly feel like hiding myself. Only Claude would say such a thing so bluntly. The king looks more shocked than anything. When did that happen? Well, Your Majesty, I think we had better start at the beginning, shan't we? We were able to tell the king of everything, save for where Varg had disappeared to. No one was sure where he had gone in all the chaos. The night's searches for him all ended in failure. A lot of explaining had to be done, not just to the king, but also to the people at the tavern. As soon as everything had calmed down, Rod and Emma Jane finally went back to the palace. I apologized to them as best as I could, and they all seemed willing to try again with me. And I'm willing to try again too. As for Claude... So you're going back? Are you sure you don't want to come to Brigantia with me? Just for a short holiday. I'd love nothing more than to introduce you to my family. Mother would shower you with gifts and father would, well, tease you probably. He makes jokes frequently and Llama... Wait, what did you just say, Llama? He has a pet llama? No, my brother, a llama. What? Ah, it's another acronym. We're Karma and Llama. Does your father do these things on purpose? I told you he likes jokes. My brother's real name is Lance. I was going to bring you back and introduce the two of you. And you could tell my little brother how very charming I am. Is it just my imagination, or is there a glimmer of competition in his eyes? As much as I would like to meet your family, you have your own obligations here. And you need to let your family know that you are safe and alive. But the thought of being separated from you... Claude sighs before leans down and plants a kiss on my forehead. I'll miss you. You won't be gone that long. Love, that's not how you're supposed to respond. You're supposed to say, my sweet prince, I'll miss you too. Fine. Then I'll miss you. Maybe. Claude raises an eyebrow at me and then smiles. I'll be back for your birthday. I love you, Lucia. It's only been a few weeks since Claude left, but boy am I impatient. The king's been throwing grand dinners every night in preparation for my birthday, but I can hardly concentrate on anyone else when I'm thinking about Claude. I told him all of the smaller birthday celebrations. I thought he'd be here for them. My birthday's in a few days. When will he come back? I tried to make myself busy, mainly by continuing my sword practices with Durian and Garland, who have both rejoined the Order of the Caldera. Every time that I'm around the Knights, I think of him. I should bring some new flowers tomorrow. If Claude would just return already, we could go to pay our respects together.
Speak of the devil!
Hello, Luciette, my love, my sunshine, my beautiful betrothed.
Claude! I shake my head and try to gather my thoughts. First of all, you did not knock. Second, we are not engaged.
We may as well be, don't you think?
At the very least, knock before you come in.
Still worried I'd come in on you in the middle of changing? Would you have minded so terribly?
Yes!
It's worth saying those things just to see you blush, darling.
Why are you even here? His arrival's so sudden that I had no time to prepare.
Claude sighs dramatically. You didn't want me back here?
No, I mean, you did not even write to say that you'd be back today. I just wasn't expecting you.
I did say I would be back for your birthday, and I'm a man of my word. Should I have stayed out longer?
No, of course not. I grumble as Claude walks over to my bed, grinning. He sits down on the bed next to me and wraps an arm around my waist, pulling me closer. I sigh out and lean my head on his shoulders. It is a startling contrast to what it used to be. Before, if I touched him, he'd flinch and would turn away from me. Now, he's always right next to me. Claude's whole body seemed to relax when I tentatively wrapped my arms around him and hugged him back.
I knew I would miss you, but it really was just terrible being away from you.
But you enjoyed the time with your family.
I did, and my brother was very frustrated that I spoke about you almost every hour of the day.
How could you have had that much to say about me?
Well, I feel like I didn't have enough time to list off all of your good virtues.
I nudged him in the arm, but he just grins at me. A giant glint from Claude's pocket catches my eye. I flush proudly when I notice the rose locket. Looking at the locket makes me think back to that night when he transformed back into a prince.
Lost in thought, are we?
I was just noticing the locket. Do you still carry it around with you?
Of course I do. It has become my most valuable possession.
He pulls the little locket out and pops it open. I'm startled when I see a small sheet of paper with my own words on it. My message to him is still there. Claude smiles as he reads the words aloud.
A normal rose would have withered, so I offer this one instead, in heartfelt thanks.
I say nothing when he turns to look at me.
Oh, your cheeks are red again. Embarrassment is adorable, darling.
I'm not embarrassed. I didn't think that he'd keep the words in there, or that it'd ever mean that much to him.
Yes, of course. You have exceptionally rosy cheeks.
He pauses as he closes the locket again and looks at it fondly.
I love this locket, because it's the first gift that you gave to me.
He was holding the locket as the beast too. It was half the reason I recognized him. I jump as Claude gently taps my nose with his finger.
This locket isn't going anywhere anytime soon, I can assure you.
I smile as he winks at me.
Anyway, allow me to pull you back to the present. Since I promised no more secrets, let me tell you something.
Oh? Claude looks away from me, his eyebrows furrowing, and I frown. I hope it's nothing serious.
I'm nervous about sitting down to dinner with your father tonight.
You're nervous? I start laughing without even meaning to.
You're laughing at my pain, princess.
He pulls me closer and kisses the top of my head. But you're too flamboyant to be nervous.
Confident, princess. Flamboyant. There's a difference.
Right.
Claude's expression grows more solemn. He looks at me seriously, almost sadly. Luciette, I'm still sorry about lying to you. The whole time I made myself up to be someone beautiful. Someone I wasn't. I believed I was a truly good person on the inside, and I deserved good things, even though I was selfish. He's already apologized to me before. Too many times. Claude, you do not have to apologize. No, that which was right to curse me. I've always had everything handed to me on a silver platter. When I came to Angel, I believed that if it wasn't going to help me break the curse, it wasn't important. And then I met you. At first I thought I would just have to get on your good side so you could help me dispel my curse. And Luciette, I realized I was drawn to your confidence and commitment. I could never admit that I was in love with you. I was so scared that if I transformed into a beast and you were scared of me, I would lose my chance at winning your heart. So you see, Princess, I was selfish. I wanted all of you without having to give you all of me. I look down at where our hands are intertwined, and I grip his fingers tighter. I've told you enough times now that you have nothing to apologize for. But if you insist on apologizing, maybe you ought to do something to make it up to me. Those words are out of my lips before I can even think on them. I stop suddenly, trying to ignore the hot flush in my cheeks. Claude looks at me, puzzled. For a few moments, I feel triumphant that I have in fact caught him off guard. Then the puzzled look fades, and Claude grins at me. Oh my, so forward. Forward! I open my mouth to apologize when he suddenly grabs my hand and tugs me down to the bed. The instinct Claude caught me in my sword fighting are quickly overwhelmed by my surprise, and in no time at all he has me pinned down to the bed and is looming just above me, smiling. I'm disappointed. Princess, you knew my weakness. You didn't even exploit it there. Your weakness? Yes. He leans in closer to me, and our noses almost touch. My weakness is you, Luciette.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's so cute.
He leans down and our lips finally meet. I relax into the contact, my earlier tension melting away as warmth flows through me. He pulls away and smiles at me. See? I let my guard down in front of you. I let my guard down in front of him too. And only him. This whole time, I've wanted to be able to touch him like this. His fingers move gently up my arm and he leans down to kiss me again.
Uh-oh. I mean, it could have turned into that, Clara, but we're kind of busy.
The sound of knocking startles us both. A muffled voice comes through the door. Princess, the king is requesting your presence in the dining hall. He says your friends have arrived. Princess? I hear the doorknob begin to turn and I quickly speak. Yes, I'll be there in a minute. I will let him know, Princess. First the curse, now this. As if the world is conspiring against us. He kisses me once more on the forehead and slowly sits up, running a hand through his hair. I catch the mischievous look in his eyes as I smooth down my own ruffled hair. Don't worry, Luciette. I'll just finish this later. I feel my cheeks flush. You say such uncouth things. Claude chuckles before he stands up and offers a hand. And I take it. I smile up at him. I love you, Luciette. And now I get to say it as many times as I like. I love you too, Claude. I stand up on my toes and plant a quick kiss on the lips before heading to the door. Let's go, Claude.
happy end! We got the good ending! Clara says this is probably a little too close to sexy times for my comfort, but oh well. Oh well. Look, I get uncomfortable and flustered whenever I see things like that happening in games too. Like I had that happen in our life and I panicked and then hit the nope button because you can have a nope out button so you don't have to have anything happen like that if you don't want to. So now it's just showing all the cute scenes and stuff that we got to do, which I'm guessing is different at the ending credits for each individual love interest. So look at this. I really like that. Like, really like the showing all of the different screenshots and stuff for like the major moments in the story. Yeah, it's really cool. Maybe I don't know, chat. Maybe we'll need to play more Renpy visual novels. Cause this is the first Renpy visual novel I've played. So like we can do that. Oh, the note button. But also this is cute. It is cute. It is cute. We could... I do own the second game, chat. So, like, I could play the second one. But... there we have it. That is the end of Route 1. We did it! Oop, my message got filtered. The Rose in Full Bloom achievement has been unlocked. Perfect. That's okay, Clara. I really hate it when games have implied schmegzy scenes that you can't nope out of. Yeah, same. I feel uncomfortable with those a lot of the time. I try and avoid them as much as I can. No matter how much I like the characters and stuff, I don't know. This, I get uncomfortable because, yeah. I don't know. It feels so weird to watch. And I get uncomfortable and awkward and like, it's awkward enough just thinking about that normally. So then, Clara says same. My investment kind of dies after that. Yeah, like, keep the steamy tension there. But like, none of the affect. Leave me on the cliffhanger. I'd rather that. Because then if I really want to, I can try and imagine things later. But otherwise, I can just like leave it at that. And it's like a nice, sweet little story and it's so good. I guess next question will be, how are we feeling about both of the endings we experienced today? One with the death ending, and one with the we end up effectively engaged to karma ending. Clara says, like, even if I'm not self-inserting, something in me dies, but I think that's just me being ace. I mean, yeah, same. I only will even slightly consider anything if I'm like really, like, I know the person really well, you know? And even then it gets it gets to the point where I'm like well I don't know what to do, because like the romantic feelings are strange enough to have, and anybody who's watched any of my streams and stuff in the past know that genuinely my panic when it comes to romantic stuff IRL is pretty intense. I get flustered very easily, and it's very easy to pick on me and tease me for it. I have basically no game for myself. I have game for other people. I can give other people the game. I just cannot give myself the game, and that is just the way that it is. But you know what? It's not all that bad. I guess the next question is, chat, do we want to next week play another route of this? Do we want to play the sequel? Because all of the different elements of the story, like we don't know who Varg is, we don't know why he's here, and he's a recurring character. I know that he's present in all of the endings, but I still don't know who Varg is. We could play the second one, but I think that the like trying to do the second one will spoil the OTP of the game, because I know that there is like an official pairing. I'm pretty sure there is an official pairing for Cinderella Phenomenon. But I don't know if who you dated in the first game affects who the OTP is in the second. Clara says, I think this ending is good. I'm surprised by how much longer the good ending is. Yeah, so am I. So am I. I was not expecting it to be this much longer. But I'm not complaining. Like, honestly, it was a very good ending. I think there is an OTP, like the official, like the official route, like the true route, I think. I'm trying to see little bits and pieces about it. They may not have that one as like the official one, but I get the feeling that it's Waltz and Luciette. Like, I don't know why. I just get the feeling that they're the perfect, like they are the one true pairing. I don't know if they actually are, but it gives me the vibes, you know? It just gives me that vibe. Let's see. Clara says, I'm curious to know more, but I don't mind either way. Because, you see, the thing is, Clara, I may chuck it to a vote in the Discord. Speaking of the Discord, if all of you guys who are watching have enjoyed the stream so far and you want to come and hang out after streams and stuff, feel free to join our Discord. We will be having a poll in the Discord to decide the game that we are going to be playing, whether that's a second playthrough of Cinderella Phenomenon for a different route, or if it's a different game. One of the options will be it has women in it. One of the options has women in it. We will be looking for another one of them, which will be good. Let's see. Clara says, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Vote can gauge everyone's opinions. Clara says, oh, my cat Flicky is being very smoochy, right? Clara says, women! I am partial to women as a lesbian. Well, I am glad that you are aware that you are indeed partial to women as a lesbian. Yes, yes, yes. Like, I think that's pretty good. I don't know, my brain's just like, yes. But yeah, also it's fun to see where these cute boy games go. Yeah, I mean, it's got good writing. I'm tempted. Let's do a little. We can do a little bit of a detour while I have a little look, see, because I'm curious about the other Renpy games. Games. Steam. Let me just have a look, see. So, what are the ones that they've done already? Oh, Renpy Games did Doki Doki Literature Club. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Well, that makes a lot of sense for how that story goes as compared to this. So they're It's in Ren'Py, so I think Ren'Py is like a particular engine. I think it's Ren'Py engine that gets used to create a lot of really good visual novels. So Doki Doki Literature Club was made in Ren'Py. So was Melia. Publishing a project on Steam, Ren'Py How To, Ren'Py Steam launch. Ooh, yes indeed. Flicky left must not have liked Dick Doki Doki. I mean, that happens. Doki Doki Literature Club is not a game I should probably play for several reasons, I have been told. What are some other ones? So one of them is The Little Lily Princess. That one is adopted from the classic Victorian novel and made by Hanko Games, I think. What else? Date War, Sapia Tears. Ooh. I think Sapia Tears is a game that you can only play once. I think, from memory. Because it doesn't allow you to reset progress. So that's an interesting one. There's also Everlasting Summer. I've heard good things about Everlasting Summer. I think I own it. Highway Blossoms, Heart of the Woods. Let's look at Cinderella Phenomenon. I want to see who the devs are because we do like supporting devs, and I want to make sure that they are put in. So Daisuke. Okay, Daisuke Games. So let's see what they've done. Video games, all games. So Cinderella Phenomenon and Cinderella Phenomenon 2. Primarily making commercial games along with a couple of games for free targeted towards female audience known as otome games. Yes. Clara says, that's fair. It's actually a bit slower in the way that it uses horror. Is kind of annoying with how deliberately triggering. The real horror comes from it being meta like Undertale, but there's probably other games that you can play to get that experience. This is about Doki Doki Literature Club. Yeah, that's fair. Like, Doki Doki Literature Club is good. In its own way, and I could see the points and stuff as well. For me, obviously, I try to avoid horror things. I don't cope too well with horror. I never have. It's not that I don't want to. I just have difficulty. Okay, so the debut game was Locked Heart, which was conceptualized and went into production, but then eventually went into a hiatus. After its conceptualization, more members were recruited. So this was a Kickstarter backer game. It's oh, okay. So the dev team is only made up of 4 people. So this is a very small indie dev team. DICE was originally founded by Koriko along with Citrarex, I think. During the recruitment for Cinderella Phenomenon, 2 more writers were recruited. Pagina and Jessica Rose. After Cinderella Phenomenon was written, though, it was announced on Tumblr that Jessica was leaving the team due to some creative differences. What else? What else is there? Locked Heart. Let's see. What's Locked Heart? But yeah, thank you for getting me up to speed on Doki Doki, by the way. I appreciate it. So I think that is... Okay, so Locked Heart went into production but never got finished. Daisuke... We've got all of that sorted. We've got Evermore. Do y'all have other games? I don't know. Let's have a look. They've got Tumblr. I'm gonna look at their Tumblr. Okay, no, that's just got Steam keys and stuff on it. Never mind. Games in development. Games in development. Okay, that's alright. Cool. I wanted to have a look at it anyway. because it's good to always look at the other games. Clara says, "Oh, good. That's fair. Not coping with horror. I definitely wasn't able to cope with it while I was younger because of anxiety. Yes, anxiety is the best. Not a nice one either. Like I have a wonky relationship with my anxiety. One day maybe I will be a little bit less anxious and able to process and work with all of the stuff that's going on. But I don't think that day is going to be anytime soon. Anyway, because now with that derail, I will be ending this stream because I do have to go and make dinner. And I keep forgetting to do that. So we will be going and raiding. I can see that Isaac is online. Isaac is playing a really cute game called Bug Fables. So let's go and check out more of that and see how he's doing over there. He's another cozy gamer. Another cozy gamer on the LGBTQIA spectrum. We will be going and raiding there. So next stream will be tomorrow at 12 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. The Paper Mario continues. We shall be going and raiding. Vol's checked in a random raid message, so like you can if you wanna use that one. Otherwise, I will see you all in the next one. Apparently Isaac doesn't exist according to Twitch, but we will try this again. I think I've done the exact same thing I did last time, which is like 1A instead of 2 A's. I mean, I do like my 2 A's, but I never remember that there's 2 A's in Isaac until like after I've typed it out and seen it. If you had a raid emote, I'd use that. I mean, yeah, if I had a raid emote, but I do not have a raid emote. In any case, thank you all so much for being here today. I hope that you all have a wonderful time zone wherever it is that you are in the world. Let's go share some love to Isaac. And I will catch you all tomorrow at 12 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. If you want to head over to the Discord to vote on the new game that we will be playing, there will be a post up in about half hour. That will be up until next week, and then it will be closed. Feel free to chuck your votes and stuff on there. The Discord link is here, and I will go and raid. Let us go say hi. Goodbye.